it's here. Funky Friday. I need some funk. I mean, it's got to be Get Down Nasty Funk today. And all weekend, it's going to be mostly sunny with mid to upper 90s all weekend. And if I don't miss I have no idea if I'm going to be right or wrong. You and I will reconvene on Monday morning at 6 a.m. Trey Ware here. Sean is off. He'll be back on Monday. But I think things could get really crazy this weekend around Iran.
Very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well.
Yep.
They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they start blowing away communities one by one, we cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon, and that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon.
We're going to talk about the data centers here in a little while, but go ahead, Mr. President.
They should have been done by other. They've been saying 47 years now for about 3 years, but they should have been done for 50 years by other American presidents or other countries.
Amen.
Didn't have to be us, but it seems to. If we don't do it, nobody else is.
Amen.
But I will, and nobody else has the capability to do it.
Or the guts.
We built, in my first term, the greatest military anywhere in the world, and we're using it a little more than I thought, but that's all right. We had Venezuela, that Chris is doing a fantastic job, and we've paid for the cost of that war many times over. We're taking millions and millions of barrels of oil, and it's going to Houston and Louisiana. You know that. You see those ships lined up.
They definitely are that, and it's this week, okay, we have spent 13 straight nights, and meaning their nights over there, of attacks. Explosions heard like crazy throughout Iran last night. A lot of military targets were hit. We've been striking their military targets heavily. We've been hitting their drones heavily. I think that was a bunch of prep work for something that we may see this weekend. Iran rejected a ceasefire offer from us. That was a mere formality. As President Trump is weighing a massive attack, I did a video on this, and Sam will put that up here in a minute or so if it's not already up. And look, here's the deal. I think we're facing an opportunity here where he's going to go in with some serious force. We've got B-1 long-range bombers in there now that we haven't had there before to this extent. We've got 150 more medics that have been moved into Germany right now. And Marco Rubio said this, is it eye for an eye?
I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon because the price they're paying is very high despite their tough talk and their flowery language. Despite all that bravado, they are suffering tremendously, and they're going to suffer more until they come to their senses.
I really believe, folks, this is going to be a big, big weekend. I think we're going to see some serious stuff that's going to go down. I don't know. I don't know anything from the insiders or anything like that. I'm just telling you, I got it in my bones, y'all. I got it in my bones. And I do have it in my bones about some reports that are out there from our intel agencies, from the CIA and others, saying that Iran's precise missile drone attacks, how they are now hitting barracks where our men and women are sleeping. We lost 4 last week. They are now directly being able to target those barracks where our people are. That Russia is helping them to a large degree with their targeting efforts, and that China also is playing a role in this, because remember what I've been telling you all along, China is paying $8 to $10 a barrel for oil. That's going to go up when this regime is gone. China's got to pay what the rest of the world is paying, and they don't want to do that. 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. Also, the House yesterday passed the War Powers resolution telling President Trump to wind her down. The Senate did not. That shocked me. I thought that would have been the other way around, but the House passed a War Powers resolution telling the president to wind it down. So that's my question to you. What do we do? We wind this puppy down now, get out of there, or do we just blast them and get it over with? You know my opinion. I've been telling you this for years now. You don't wind it down. Now that you got them down, You knock hell out of them until they can't get up ever again. I'm talking about this regime. I'm not talking about this has nothing to do with the people. In fact, we have yet to strike any civilian targets at all, period. None. We have struck nothing but military targets inside of Iran. And I believe it's prepping the forces for this weekend. Here's the Secretary of State.
Prominent Republicans who have said they want you to take over the Iran negotiations. They trust you. They think that you will prioritize Israel's interests, and they're attacking Vice President Vance.
Who are these prominent Republicans?
Senator Sheehy, the Wall Street Journal opinion page. There's people.
Well, that's not Republican. That's a newspaper.
Well,
You're a troublemaker with these questions. No, no, look, guys, listen. Here's the bottom.
Before he answers, I don't know if you could hear, because you're driving your car, I don't know if you could hear the question. The question was, prominent Republicans are saying that you should take over the negotiations and not allow these other guys to do the negotiations, that you should be the lead on that. That's according to prominent Republicans. And the Secretary of State, who is great, I love this guy, says, who are these prominent Republicans? Well, the Wall Street Journal. Well, that's a newspaper. And Marco says, you're a troublemaker. That's not prominent Republicans.
That's a newspaper.
Well,
You're a troublemaker with these questions. No, look, guys, listen. Here's the bottom. You know who the lead negotiator is? His name is Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. That's who dictates our policy. He has a team of people that work together on this. We all have a role to play, depending on what the topic is. We have very good negotiators in Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. We have the Vice President of the United States, which is the second highest ranking official, which tells you how the importance we've given this file. Obviously, I have a role to play. The Department of War has had a role to play. That's how we approach it. This doesn't, I mean, it's a combined effort, and it always should be.
Do you wish people didn't endorse you to take over the talks yourself?
I mean, you're telling me about that, but that's not how our system works. That's not how this administration works.
Everybody has a role to play. They're just trying to start some crap with inside the administration. They always do this. That's who they are, and he pays no attention to these guys, and he called them out for being troublemakers, which is exactly what he should have done. Now, coming up, I got a whole bunch of other things. I got some positive news on the economy from President Trump. I've got some more on the ICC. Remember I was talking about the ICC yesterday and Mamdani wanting the ICC to take over U.S. law, supersede our Constitution, arrest Benjamin Netanyahu and your son or daughter serving in the military. Remember I was talking about that? Marco Rubio addressed that yesterday, so he was listening to the show. Good morning, Secretary. Great to have you listen to the show. I also have, a story about Mamdani and a guy who stabbed a couple of folks in New York. We're going to talk about that. Rahm Emanuel. Never let a good crisis go to waste. He has unveiled the entire Democrat strategy and what they're going to be running on. I've got that coming up. And Talacrepo, bragging about fighting against bills to keep boys out of girls' sports. And this killer interview with Elon Musk in The Economist magazine is the best. I mean the best. And I've got so much sound from that, there's no way I'm going to be able to get to it all. That's why I run this X account. It's called @TreyWare on X, @TreyWare. And I put up all this stuff that you hear me talking about and all the sound, because I do all the sound for the show myself. And I put it all up on the X account so you can go see the receipts and you can know that what I'm telling you is the truth. Back in a minute, Trey Ware, KTSA. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s for the high. Right now, 75, KTSA. It's a great show when Jack is in 60, baby. Come on, bring on the funk for Funky Friday. Mostly sunny all weekend, mid to upper 90s for your high. I know you gonna love that. Yeah. 621, Trey, Ware, KTSA. So we had an attacker in New York City near Central Park on the Upper West Side. I think we've been there, Elaine. I think we've been to the Upper West Side, you and me together. Stabbed 2 men, one wearing a kippah, yelling, Allahu Akbar. You know what that means. Guy's name is Raul Morales. He's 51. Allegedly was the one who carried out the attack. All alleged, innocent till proven guilty, blah, 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 blah. 7 arrests. 7 arrests. Somebody want to tell me why the judge who let him go the last time is not responsible for this yesterday? You can't make a case against it. You just cannot. It's very clear. In fact, my boy Elon talks about that. You're going to hear that in this wonderful interview that I'm going to have so much fun with, beginning at 6:35. So make sure you're here at 6:35 to hear my boy Elon. Council members are blaming Mamdani. You got blood on your hands, Mr. Mayor, because he has been spewing Jew hate out his mouth. And when on the left, we now know for sure when you spew Jew hate out your mouth on the left, you got the nut jobs that go out and they do crazy, nutty stuff, like kill people like Charlie Kirk. And we know that because they write their words on shell casings of the bullets, or they carry signs like the guy who tried to burn an ice facility down this week, had all the words of Mamdani and others on the ice sign, anti-ice signs. Hochul said, this is another attack just because somebody's Jewish. I'm so tired of this. Well, then ring Mamdani and tell him to shut his mouth, put a sock in it, boy. Shut your mouth. But he won't. For a couple of reasons. The first reason is that, what I just said, nut jobs do nut job things. But number two, he wants the ICC, the International Criminal Court, to take over the United States. He's trying to bring that to the fore so that our Constitution will be subjected to the International Criminal Court. That's what the boy is trying to do. He's got a big mouth and a tissue paper butt. He sent out yesterday after the stabbing of a Jew near Central Park. And why any of you people would support him, I don't get it. But he sent out a post. If you own a second home in New York, check your mailbox. You've got mail. The new tax is going to hit you, and I'm going to take more of your money from you. He's going to take $500 million from those who have made successes of themselves and now own second homes in New York. That's his plan. Because why? Because he has to. He has got to raise taxes on those who can afford the taxes, who can afford more taxes, particularly in New York. Hey, the big money's leaving. It's all coming to Texas, baby. Texas and Florida, flooded with the big money out of New York. And just wait till this boy's senator. Say what? Just wait till this boy's senator. I agree with Ted Cruz, and I've been saying this for a long time. Mamdani wants to be the president, but he can't be because he's from some foreign country. So he will have a proxy pres, but he's going to put himself in a position in the Senate to be able to control legislation in the Senate. Here's Ted Cruz.
My prediction is Comrade Mamdani will be the next Democrat senator from New York, that Mamdani will replace Schumer. I think Mamdani is the single most powerful Democrat in the country. And I got to say, by the way, there are some Republicans that are celebrating. This is great. Our opponents are crazy. That's going to help us. I want to say for the record, I'm not celebrating. I think this is bad for the country. I think this is unhealthy. I want to see two normal parties that are not filled with crazy people who can actually do something reasonable and who actually love the country. Okay, if a Democrat likes some higher taxes and higher regulations, I don't like that. But could we start with the premise that you love America?
That'd be a good place to start, but he's exactly right. Chuck Schumer's done, okay? Chuck will probably, if he doesn't resign, he won't run again. He realizes he's done. And Mr. Mamdani is ready to go. Hey, Molly, good morning and happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Trey. I've been trying to get you for a couple months because I want your thoughts about this. I like J.D. Vance. I bought his book and read it, but I'm sad to say over this last few months, I've seen him evolve from what I thought was a really good conservative to he's turned into a typical politician. Not quite a rhino, but nearly there. And Rubio has proved himself more and more. He's evolved from a politician into a statesman, and he's my pick for 2028. And I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
Well, I lean toward Rubio in a lot of ways. I really do, because I think and I've said this on the radio, Molly, I believe he's going to go down as the greatest Secretary of State we've ever had. And I've seen all of them since Kissinger, been alive and been politically, tuned in since Kissinger. And we haven't had a guy like him in forever. And that includes Chuck Schultz. He was just a big one-worlder like the rest of them. That includes Mike Pompeo, all the rest of them. And this guy is so unique in what he does and how he handles himself and what he's doing with America around the world. Rubio, I'm a big fan. My verdict is out on Vance. I'll be honest with you. This whole thing that he went through last weekend was certainly, I questioned a lot of what he's had to say. I think he's solid, but I have some concerns that he may lean toward the Rhino camp or the more establishment camp, which I do not like at all. I'm done with establishment Republicans. I'm done with establishment everything. I've made it clear for years now, I don't wear an R, and I don't wear a D, and I don't wear an I. I wear an American. I wear a P. I'm a patriot for this country. I believe in what this country was built on, what it stands for principally, and where we began, and I want to see a return to those principles in this country. I do not like where we are, and I don't like where either of the parties are right now. We need to go back to having the Patriots, and I really believe that's closer to where Donald Trump is right now. He's not a Republican. He's not a conservative. He's not a Democrat, and he's not a left-wing whack job. He's a common sense person, and that's we call them normal people. And you're going to hear that at 6:35. So stand by. Thank you, Molly, for your call. Tell you about my friends over at Apple Pest Control. If it bugs you, it bugs Apple. Stan Goodson is a good man. I've known him now since 2003 when Nancy and I bought the Ware house. And Stan and his team have been our pest control company ever since then, even before they were a sponsor of my show. They were the first company I called when we bought our current home. We needed a pest control company for several reasons. It was a new build, and so we didn't have a pest control company. In the past, I had signed our other homes. I had signed contracts with those big national brands because, they have all the stuff to kill the bugs. No, they don't. Stan's got all the stuff to kill the bugs. And when you sign one of those contracts with those big companies, you're committed to them, but they ain't committed to you. I'm just telling you that. You're committed to pay them quarterly or yearly, but they'll come to you when they can and get to you when they. That's not the way it works at Apple Pest Control. No contracts to ever sign over there. No hidden charges when they tell you here's what it's going to cost. That's what it's going to cost. So I just like that about them, and I like the fact that they're locally family owned as well. I mean, right here in San Antonio, Stan Goodson is the owner. If you want to ring him up and talk to him, you can. Mention Trey Ware when you call them, and they'll give you $25 off your service at Apple Pest Control, 210-695-8946.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing.
FM 107.1.
It's Funky Friday, 6:33. Trey, Ware, KTSA. Sean will be back on Monday. I'm doing Open Mind Friday. I did Open Mind for 50 years on the radio. Back to Open Mind Friday with you this morning at 210-599-5555. Coming right up, some of that Elon interview. I just absolutely love this thing. The Economist with Elon sat down, 83 minutes long. I went through the entire 83 minutes, but I'm not going to obviously play that. But before then, I got some bits and pieces quick hits. You ready for my bits and pieces quick hits? Secret Service agent investigation into J.D. Vance's detail. Apparently, they may have had an agent who has been leaking sensitive info because he's mad at J.D. Vance. You know, I'm so tired of these insiders who don't like who the president and the vice president are, so they're going to take pot shots at him. We shall see what happens. Also, the Secret Service says that the White House Correspondents' Dinner, remember the one, this is the one because somebody tried to kill President Trump, is going to have vastly different protocols now. Why didn't you have them in place then? Back then, you had a guy who had his ear shot. Another dude was going to shoot him while he was on the golf course. A number of attempts on his life. And you had lack-ass security at this deal when they tried to do it a couple of months ago. And now we're going to tighten it down. We're really going to look after this. And he's had the gall to go on TV yesterday, the Secret Service guy, and say, I haven't seen this kind of threat since I have been in the Secret Service, which is well over 2 decades now. I've never seen this kind of threat level. Pull your head out, dude. You know, this is the President of the United States, and everybody that on the left and all these foreign leaders want him dead, 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 cold, stinking dead. Would you please get your crap together and make sure the man lives? Good Lord. U.S. murder rate, the lowest in 125 years, is continuing to fall. Austin, however, is way up, 74%. The largest increase is in Austin, Tejas. Man, I wouldn't no more go to Austin for love nor money. You couldn't get me to Austin, Texas now. It don't matter. You could write me $1 million check, and I'd still avoid that place, man. Good Lord. Okay, now, The Economist magazine sat down with the smartest man and the richest man on planet Earth. Yes, I'm an Elon fan. Do I like everything that he stands for? Of course not. Do I like all of his politics? Absolutely not. But I do respect this man. Listen to this.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal.
Oh, listen to this. Turn it up. Turn it up. You got to hear this.
In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama.
We have done that on this show. I have played audio of that scenario right there, walking up to people and going, hey, listen to this speech. Here's what was said. And they go, oh, Trump is absolutely horrible. No, that was Obama.
Well, actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No,
listen to her. She doesn't know what to say. Did you hear what she was doing?
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking about people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending.
Which sound terrible? Secure borders, safe cities, sensible spending?
Sound terrible. That we should have secure borders, that we should have safe cities, that we should have sensible spending.
Because the lunatic right, as she calls them, the far right, that's what you stand for. Those three things. Is that lunatic? Is that crazy?
Which of those three are far right fringe? And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in, but let me.
Don't turn to the producer and said, "Don't cut this out."
Cut this part.
Let me push back on that. Let me push back on that
because
you have
nonsense.
Elon, you have what is it? Close to 250 million followers on X.
Yeah, because
you say things like
popular guy.
I'm a popular guy. I got 250 million people who follow me. I loved every bit of this interview, and throughout the morning, I'm just going to highlight some of these things that he said because you know why? Because he's making common sense, and she's trying to make him sound like he's some sort of weirdo.
It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
That is absolutely true. A whole lot more people hate the media. And I just love somebody who has the guts and nuts to stand up to somebody like that and say that. Now, you hear me talk a lot on this show about repeat offenders. In fact, I just mentioned it a few minutes ago when I was talking about the guy who stabbed the two in New York. This was not 10 minutes ago. I was talking about Mamdani. Mamdani's very incendiary words about Benjamin Netanyahu. Everything that Mamdani has said about Jews in New York has been very negative. He refused to march in their parade earlier this year and all these things, you know. His Jew hatred is clearly on display. So a Jew got stabbed in New York yesterday. Not surprising. I've been telling you all week, every day this week, right? That has been a continuing theme about Mamdani. And one thing that I focus on a lot on this show, and I know Sean gets tired of hearing it because he rolls his eyes every once in a while, and you guys I know don't like to hear it all the time, but it's a drum I'm going to keep beating, and that is we need to hold people responsible for these repeat offenders. If you go through the system 30, 40, 50 times, and these judges continue to put you back on the streets, and you reoffend over and over again, first of all, you're done. I'm ready to fry you. I'm ready to fry you. You're done. You get 50 shots and you go back out and you kill somebody, it's over. Turn out the lights. Let's put you on the gurney right now. But also, I want these judges held accountable. Here's Elon talking about the exact same thing.
Where there is danger in this country is because we fail to incarcerate repeat violent offenders. And that's, the classic sort of Soros DA or judges that fail to incarcerate repeat violent offenders.
How many times have you heard me talk about Let 'em Go Joe in Bexar County, hired by George Soros to let him go? And he exactly did that. He worked against the SAPD in order to put criminals, violent criminals, back out of the streets of Bexar County and San Antonio.
The classic sort of Soros DA or judges that fail to incarcerate repeat violent offenders. And if somebody gets arrested 50 times, literally, for violent crimes, and eventually they're going to kill somebody. So you either incarcerate them or people will die.
It is that simple. And hold the judges accountable and the DAs accountable who let them go.
That's where it starts. Here's how it goes. We have the DAs, that's municipal, then we have the state attorney generals, right? And then we go into the judges and the AGs of the federal government, the DOJ. You can write those people like you can a congressman or a senator. They have email addresses too. That's who we have beef with. And if you want a judge to be held accountable, then people need to go address that with the AGs and the DAs in their cities and states and start there.
And with your representative.
It's like I just said, email them.
Your representative, your people in Austin, make sure that they know and that you want a law passed, because you got to pass a law to hold them accountable as an accessory to murder. But look, here's the thing. It's great to know that Elon Musk himself agrees with me.
It's not that easy, especially with our Let 'em Go Joe DA. You can email him. He's not accessible like Nico LaHood was. And I'm so glad that he's finally leaving. But hopefully we get someone in there that is like a Nico LaHood. Yeah. Because Let 'em Go Joe is not accessible.
No, he's not.
No, but that's all you can do, Elaine. That's all we can do is email and call the office.
Yeah. No, you can do a little bit more by encouraging voting in some judges that are more conservative and are more
in this blue county?
It's going to start in Austin, guys. The Senate and the House, they need to pass a law that will hold these people accountable who are directly responsible for letting these guys go. If you are responsible for these guys who are multiple time offenders, if you're responsible, if you're in the chain, whether you're a D, I don't care who you are. If you're a DA or if you're the guy who brought the water to the courtroom and you're a part of letting these guys go in that decision process, you know what? We're coming after you too, because this is pathetic and it's great. Maybe the fact that Elon is talking about it will throw some light on it, and maybe we'll be able to get some stuff done. A couple of other things he talked about in this thing had nothing to do with that kind of stuff. I'm going to continue to break that down all morning long. You're going to love this interview. He said in 5 years, AI will exceed the sum of all human intel. I think he's right. 10 years, we will be living in the age of abundance in the United States, and money will not matter. That AI robotics will be doing so much that we will see such deflationary action everywhere that the government's going to have to print money to hand you money to cause inflation, because the AI robotics are going to be doing so much that it's going to cause deflation here, that governments won't even need to cover taxes or charge you taxes. You're going to get a universal high income, a time of universal high income, because AI will be doing so much. And super intelligent AI is going to be inevitable. It is coming. It's going to be here. It's going to supersede anything we have ever seen. Way beyond a Tesla, way beyond an Einstein or anything like that. It's going to have its own super intelligence. He said, I used to, fret about that. I was very concerned about that. I used to talk to everybody in the world about that. He said, now there's nothing you can do about it. It's inevitable, so you might as well enjoy the ride, because the ride's coming whether you like it or not. And I got to take a break whether we like it or not. Back in a minute, KTSA. It's Friday, July 24th. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s for the high, 75 now, KTSA. Yeah. You want some Uptown Funk, baby? You got it. Say what? Don't believe me, just what? Got to watch? Oh, be careful when you say that. Because you can watch me. You can watch me. Watch me. Right now. Watch me now. KTSA and our, what is it on? It's on our YouTube page, right? So you just go to KTSA YouTube, and that's where I am. And Elaine does a great, you hear us a lot on the radio. So Elaine's doing it here, and Sam is doing it over there. And Sam put up my videos this morning. I got a couple of them for you. KTSA Facebook page. Thank you, Sam, for all you're doing, by the way. Great work. Sam Paggs is wonderful. And I got one up on Iraq or Iran. I keep saying Iraq. I mean Iran. And I got another one up on Mamdani and his words and the stabbing yesterday. So, listen, check all that out. The Facebook page of KTSA. Go over there right now. Make a comment. Tell me how much you hate me and my thoughts. Tell me how much you hate my opinion. Just do that over there right now because I love it when you do that. And then watch on our YouTube page. All right, to the phones. It's Open Mind Friday. Dean, what's on your mind? Hello.
Yeah, I'm the guy with the aggressive driving program here in San Antonio. And I just want to let you know we're completing a 4,000-piece survey of people who've been through our programs in the last 2 years. And our basic hypothesis works like this. A higher level of prior criminal activity is a more likelihood for people who practice aggressive driving all the way to murder, manslaughter, and suicidal.
Wow.
This is statistically correct. I'm seeing 38% people with domestic violence issues, 60 to 75% with anxiety and stress issues. Also, if you look at the last 3 murders, I've been reviewing the last 19 to 21 fatalities in the last 2 years. I'm analyzing those cases very carefully. And the last 3 recent cases, one still pending trial. Another was dismissed for technical reasons, and another, and the most recent one was a hung jury mistrial. So the community is not ready to do something about the repeat criminal behaviors because every one of the victims had no criminal records whatsoever. So the comparison is startling. I know it's only 3, but the point is, the longer this continues, and it used to be back in the day when I used to work for your daddy, I remember we worked about safety belts and drunk driving, that sort of thing. This stuff eclipses all that because the criminal transactions are moving into the traffic and transportation.
So hang on a second, Dean. So what you're telling me, though, is there's a direct correlation between the criminal activity and aggressive driving.
From what we can see in our 4,000-piece survey, taking up to D.C. in September 15th.
That's interesting. But you do see an increase in criminal activity and repeat criminal activity in Bexar County, which would make sense because of the Let Him Go Joe syndrome that DA, he was hired by Soros to do exactly that. Dean, I got to jump and run, but I appreciate the report.
Aggressive driving can lead to other stuff?
No, the other way around.
Oh.
The more crime you're involved in, the more aggressive driving. He's been doing this kind of stuff. Dean's been around for 30 years doing this.
I thought he was drawing a correlation to I-35 construction and people getting aggressive and committing crimes.
And sometimes you feel that way. You feel like you want to be violent after you've been up and down I-35. Okay, James Talacrepo. Here's some quotes from Talacrepo. Tear down ICE. We need to get rid of ICE. That's interesting because that was one of the signs that the guy had the other day when he tried to light fire in New York City at the ICE facility. Tear down ICE. Talacrepo said that. These are quotes, by the way, from Talacrepo. Voter ID rigs elections. You will get used to a world without prisons. All police are racist. Let me ask my police friends. How about my investigator, detective friends at SAPD, in fact, family members, and a very close friend of mine at the Selma PD. How you feel about that? James Talacrepo, all police are racist. Texas ID to vote makes it hard for Democrats to win. Well, that's true. He's right on that one. But I've told you he makes me very uncomfortable about the whole trans kid thing. I mean, that's why I call him Transcrepo. There's something really creepy about this guy and trans kids. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. But remember, he was an elementary school teacher here in San Antonio. And he's just got this weird fixation on trans kids. In fact, when he was asked on a podcast before he was running for the Senate. Now, all this is changing, by the way, because he's lying to you now that he's running for the Senate. All that stuff was prior to him running, all the quotes I gave you. But he was asked, what's the most important issue that you want to deal with? And as a member of the Texas House, he said, trans kids. Trans kids, that's the most important thing I can handle. Not the border, not crime, not high prices, none of that stuff. Trans kids. Because here's another quote from him. Trans kids are something special. They are beautiful. We've got to, yes, this is an adult male. They are beautiful. We've got to keep our vigilance up and make sure these bills never become law. Which bills are we talking about? Bills to keep boys out of girls' sports and to ban the practice of subjecting children to transgender surgeries and chemical castration. Let's listen to him say it, okay? All right, here he is.
You know, our trans kids, and I got to meet a lot of them during the session, a lot of them had the bravery to come and share their story.
He's praising trans kids for coming to the legislative session and talking to them.
Texas Capitol, which no child should have to do. No child should have to defend their humanity to their legislators. But they did, and trans kids are something special.
Trans kids are something special.
And they are beautiful, made in God's image.
They're made in God's image, no, sir. Somebody who believes that they can actually be the opposite sex, if you're saying that, God is not, what he's saying here is that God is trans, and he has said it that way. But that's what he's saying. These trans kids are made in the image of God, that thereby, ergo, God is trans.
And I was so proud to stand with them, stand with their parents to fight back and ultimately kill that discriminatory bill. And so we're not done though. There's a special election, a special session. We've got to keep our vigilance up and make sure those bills never become law. And I'll tell you what, a lot of Republicans come up to me and they tell me how much they hate those bills. They tell me how much they don't want to vote on. So they are secretly with us. I don't know if that.
Okay. I got to jump off, but those bills that he's talking about are keeping boys out of girls' sports. He wants boys to be in girls' sports, and he wants children to be transitioned. In other words, the surgeries where they cut off penises and breasts, and chemical castration as well. Back in a minute, Trey Ware, KTSA.
Hot summer days and
Yeah. Give me that funk. That's what I'm talking about. Uh-huh. Trey Ware here. Sean's off. He'll be back on Monday. 210-599-5555. Bringing back today, Open Mind Friday. You can be on. Let's talk about it. 210-599-5555. The president, I think, has spent this week. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just me, an outsider, just telling you what I think. And you can go over to the KTSA Facebook page. I put up a video that says what I'm about to tell you, and then you can comment and say if I'm just out of my gourd and I'm crazy and stupid or whatever. That's fine. But I think the president has set us up this week because he's going to blow up a lot of Iran this weekend. I really do. I feel like he has spent the past 13 nights blowing up a lot of their military infrastructure so that when we go in heavy, they can't respond. There's nothing they can do. And by respond, I don't mean blow our planes out of the sky. I don't believe they have that capability anymore, although there are intel reports that Russia's helping them out. So, like, in particular, where they send their ballistic missiles into camps in other countries. They were trying to get Bahrain last night. They got Jordan last weekend and killed some of our people, all that kind of stuff. And in that one in particular in Jordan, it was able to evade our defenses and go right to one of the barracks where they were at, and that's what killed them. And our intel guys are like, wait a minute. The Iranians are not that advanced in their targeting. Somebody with a lot of advanced targeting methods and equipment, they're the ones who are doing that. And it's very probably, according to our intel folks, that it's Russia. But China's also playing some sort of role in all this. And again, as I've told you before, China gets really cheap oil from Iran, $8 to $12 a barrel. They don't want to be paying the $100 a barrel that you and I are. So that's where I think is happening. So the president set this week up by blowing a lot of their military assets up every single night. They moved a lot of B-1 long-range bombers in place there. They put 150 more medics into Germany this weekend, and they have flooded the Middle East with elite U.S. forces. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to put boots on the ground in Iran. I really don't believe that at all. That would shock me. But you know what? You never know. That would shock me if that happened. Anything is possible, okay? But they did put forward yesterday a ceasefire proposal, and Iran rejected the ceasefire proposal. President Trump has been very clear this week that, you know what, I'm going to go into Pickaxe Mountain, and that stuff that's in there, I'm going to destroy it. They need to be hit heavier and stronger than what we've done. They're going to be hit heavier than they've ever been. In fact, here he is talking about it a little bit yesterday.
Very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they start blowing away communities one by one, we cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon, and that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon. Under the And by the way, this should have been done by other. They've been saying 47 years now for about 3 years.
Yep.
This should have been done for 50 years by other American presidents or other countries.
That's right.
Didn't have to be us, but it seems to. We don't.
You know, he's absolutely right. How many times have you heard me say that? They have been in charge over there for 47 years, and they have strung along every single American president, including my beloved Ronald Reagan, for 47 years. This is not a new war, folks. This is an old war. They declared war on us 47 years ago. Go ahead, Mr. President.
I don't do it. Nobody else is, but I will, and nobody else has the capability to do it either. We built, in my first term, the greatest military anywhere in the world, and we're using it a little more than I thought, but that's all right. We had Venezuela, that Chris is doing a fantastic job, and we've paid for the cost of that war many times over. We're taking millions and millions of barrels of oil, and it's going to Houston and Louisiana. You know that?
We do. When you look at the timing of this, you can tell, obviously, that politics does not enter the man's mind when it comes to the timing. He felt like, and he's right, according to Marco Rubio, that Iran was setting themselves up with enough ballistic missiles and these suicide drones to protect their nuclear ambitions to where we would never be able to get in there and take it apart. And once they had the nukes, then we would have to treat them like we do Russia, mad, mutually assured destruction. And they would have at that point taken out every Jew on planet Earth, or at least Israel, which is the grand plan. But now Marco Rubio says President Trump doesn't want just an eye for an eye.
I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon, because the price they're paying is very high. Despite their tough talk and their flowery language, despite all that bravado, they are suffering tremendously, and they're going to suffer more until they come to their senses.
You hear what the man's saying? They're going to suffer more. It's a head for an eye, not just an eye for an eye. It's a head for an eye, and these folks are going to suffer more than they have ever suffered before. If they're not telegraphing that something really major is coming our way, or coming away of Iran, then I don't know what they're doing. Maybe you can explain it to me. Maybe you got some other idea that they might be talking about right now. Maybe they're trying to say something else. But to me, they are telegraphing, get ready, put your head between your legs, and kiss your fanny goodbye, because we're just about to unleash hell on you guys, which obviously needs to happen. There's two choices, okay? And I put this in the video. It's on the KTSA Facebook page if you want to watch it. You got two choices right now. The House passed a War Powers resolution telling President Trump, let's wind it down and get out of there. So that's choice A. The Senate did not pass it, by the way. Only the House, which surprised me. I thought that would have been the other way around, because the Senate's a bunch of wussies. So I didn't, man, that didn't compute in my brain when I first saw that. I had to read it several times. But anyway, that's the way it came down. Need to wrap it up, need to wind it down, and get out of there, Mr. President. Number two is go finish it. Unleash what you got. Take them out. Take that regime out. Take all the drones out. Take all the missiles out. Totally neuter them. Completely and totally neuter them. Take out all of their leadership, both military leadership and the leadership that's, the weirdos, the nut jobs. Take all that out. And every last bit of military armament and military infrastructure that they have, destroy it all. And leave them completely neutered, where they're going to be talking in high tones. They won't be able to answer anything from anybody ever again. That's what I would do. And maybe that's going to happen this weekend. It sure looks like we're set up for something like that. It really, really does. To me, you tell me. Some of you have been there, man. I mean, I got guys who call me who were at Fallujah taking fire over there, and it was hot. So maybe some of you guys got a better idea than I do. You can hit me up, 210-599-5555. Trey Ware, KTSA. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s for the high, 75 right now, KTSA. was fun. 1976. Freak out. It's Funky Friday. Trey Ware, KTSA 721 now. This story is just a fun one I'm going to toss at you, and I'm going to go back to the phones, 210-599-5555. Christopher Henenthal in Arkansas works at one of these trampoline parks, and he dresses up in costume, and he was Spider-Man the other day. This is cute.
I saw that story.
There's a man who was trying to get across 6 lanes of traffic. Thank God in Arkansas they were smart enough to make highways 6 lanes wide. Why come we couldn't figure that out in Texas? I thought we were smarter than those Arkansans. Anyway, so he was having a hard time getting across where the light is. 6 lanes of traffic. So Mr. Henenthal got out of his car wearing his Spider-Man costume and pushed him all the way across the lanes of traffic. And, of course, and that got him across there in his wheelchair before the light turned green. We had that happen over here on San Pedro where the old Alamo Cafe used to be. Remember that, where it used to be? It's kind of crazy and busy right there, just nuts with traffic. And I had left an appointment with Arnie Piankowski, who used to work here. He was a great guy. And I'm following him after our appointment back here to the radio station. And we come up to a red light, and there was a lady trying to get across in her wheelchair. And I started to get out to go do it, but Arnie beat me to it. He ran over to her and pushed her across in that San Pedro traffic. Really cool. But Arnie was not wearing a Spider-Man costume.
I'm sure he has one, though.
Oh, yeah. He's got all kinds of costumes. I know the game that boy plays. The destruction that Barack Obama and the Obamas themselves wrought upon people is incalculable. I mean, just as a nation. Just what they have done to separate us because they hate white people, that's perfectly clear. Read what they say. Listen to what they say. They hate white people. They want to cause division in this country because the whole thing that they went through with Bill Ayers and the Weather Underground and with Cloward and Piven and all these people that wrote these books about how to destroy the country from within. And both of them are disciples of that, by the way. Both of them believe in that. And that 8 years that he was president was nothing compared to the extra 4 he added on where Joe Biden was actually the name that had the presidency, but Barack was running the show. And look what he did for 4 years behind the scenes, pulling the strings on Biden. But it came time to build that monstrosity, that god-awful thing in Chicago to him. That we all talked about how ugly that thing is. And I did bring up when they had the grand opening a couple of Fridays ago that you had to show an ID just to get in. I'm like, so you got to show an ID to get to the Obama Center, but you don't have to have an ID to vote. You just rumble that one through your brain a little bit to see what comes out on the other end. But the royal screwing that he is giving to the people who worked on it, he made them hire all these DEI people. They all had to be special in their own little way before they could be hired, which took them all kinds of years and delays and money. They could have just hired whoever was best for the job and whoever, hit them with the lowest bid. But they said, nope, we're not going to do that. It's taxpayer money. It's people that are donating. So I'm not worried about what it's going to cost. I don't care how long it's going to take. We want a DEI project. So if you're a guy who wears a dress, man, you get a job. If you're a woman who, cuts your breast off and wears men's clothing, you get a job. All the DEI stuff. If you're black, man, you get every job in the world around here. You're in charge. And that's the way they ran that project. And I'm not speaking out of school. You can do your own research and check me to see if I'm okay. But the royal screwing he gave them, these are people who are unions, by the way. He demanded they be unions. Now, he's not paying them. Millions and millions of dollars. I'll give you just one example. A plumbing subcontractor, Mike Owen of Adamson Plumbing, in case you want to look it up.
We trusted that the payment would be made, and it wasn't. And it just was the final death blow to the company.
So what happened to Mr. Michael Owen from that company, the Adamson Plumbing Company? They're shutting down. Out of business. In fact, he had dozens, at least a dozen more projects lined up and ready to go. But he's in such bad shape after doing the Obama thing that he can't even carry on and take on those jobs to salvage his own company. His company's over with. It's done. 25 union employees were fired because he's closing it down. Why? Because Barack owes him $4 million. He's just a guy like you and me who's got a plumbing company, and he put $4 million of his own dollars into it. Here's how they screwed him over so bad. They were so far behind on this deal, they were having to work 24 hours to make this thing happen by the deadline, which was, again, 2 or 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 Fridays ago, whenever they did the big to-do. And so in order to meet that deadline, they were having to press people into work in overtime. And since they were all DEI union hires, they all got paid, not only time and a half, but 3-4 times what they were, what it would have normally cost on a normal schedule, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever, during a week. They were working them on the weekends. They were working them late at night. They were working them all the time just to try to get this thing done. And the bill was going up and up and up. And this guy, he was taking it out of his back pocket and paying these people to go do the job, thinking, like you just heard him say, I thought the payment was coming.
We trusted that the payment would be made.
And it was not. $4 million. He has no other choice at this point but to shut his company down. His lifelong dream, gone. 25 union employees fired.
He's going to sue him, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, he has to.
I don't know. But look at this. That's the Obama way. He not only screwed the country for 13, 14 years, everybody in his universe is getting it too. The people who trusted that he would pay the bills on this center, you just heard the man say it. I trusted that the payment was going to be made, and it was not.
We trusted that the payment would be made.
Poor guy. I feel for him, man. That's his life. He put everything into that business. And he trusted that the former president was going to pay his bills, and the former president is not paying the bills. Incredible. Not unbelievable. I didn't say the word unbelievable because nothing surprises me when it comes to the Obamas. Nothing at all surprises me. It's just sickening when you think about it. Coming right back, Trey Ware, KTSA for New Bath Today. At New Bath Today, I've got a plan. I put it together in my head right now. I can see my new bath, my new bathroom. I got it all laid out in my head. I know what I want to do. And if you're in the same boat as me, I want you to get in touch with my friends at newbathtoday.com. They were safe showers because that's what they started out doing, just building these great safe showers with a low step-up entry, a non-slip floor, and all those grab bars and all that cool stuff that goes into it. No grout, so you never have to worry about, mold and all that stuff settling in. But now they've expanded to do an entire bathroom remodeling projects, and that means that non-slip floor throughout the entire bathroom. That means new lighting. That means new cabinets. I've got an idea where I want to take my tub out because we never use the thing. I want to take that tub out. That's where I want the shower to go. And where the shower is now, I want that to be a vanity area for gnats. I just think it's going to look really cool. And they can do that for you guys. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is when it comes to bathroom remodeling projects to make it safe and look great. New Bath Today is the company, and right now got a great deal for you. Qualified buyers get $0 down, 0% interest, and no payments for 24 months. So you get your new bath now and use their money for the next 24 months to enjoy your new bathroom remodeling project from New Bath Today. And by the way, if you're not ready to move on the project, go ahead and get your quote done now because that quote is good for a solid year. They will honor the price that they give you today for 1 solid year. NewBathToday.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the
Jimmy, what's going on with Christian this morning, man? I'm looking over and all I can see is his bald head and his eyes, and he looks a little constipated. Is he constipated this morning?
Christian's just he's an odd bird.
Is he really?
Yeah. And
I never noticed.
Things bug him, and I have to settle him down.
Oh, good.
I'm a bald eagle.
So did you get him chilled? Are you chilled now? What's the matter? What's bothering you, babe?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I'm on my third cup of coffee. I'm cranking.
Well, what's the matter? Jimmy says you got a problem over there. What's the problem?
No problem. No problem at all.
Okay.
No. It's with me.
This is.
Yeah. No, we have a beef now. There's an official beef.
What did you do?
I don't know. No.
It's Friday. There's no beef on Funky Friday.
Too much low T.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
Well, so
okay.
Let's talk firemen. So Elaine's engaged.
Let me bring up a really exciting topic, okay? Just a really exciting one. This is about microplastics. Anybody got a problem with microplastics?
Isn't that like in our Tupperware and stuff? And
everything.
Okay, but they talk. That's why you're not supposed to heat up in Tupperware.
Everything. Yes.
Our tumblers that we drink out of.
I got a video I did last night.
Okay.
But check it out, Jimmy. Check it out. There's a new report out this morning. Okay, I'm not just pulling this from the old times. This is a new report. Severe heart attack victims, when they check their blood, they're finding microplastics 84% of the time.
Really?
Not 4% of the time, not 20% of the time,
but there's
84% of the time when you have a heart attack, you got microplastics.
I always heard that it was cancer that would
probably so, probably that too.
Okay, not 84% of their blood had microplastics,
no,
but 84% of the cases had said. Okay,
correct. So 84% of the people that have massive heart attacks have microplastics in their heart, right there where the problem is. So not just circulating in their body, but in their heart where the problem.
So you got to switch over to.
Yeah, you got to get rid of Tupperware apparently, and go to glass. You know, and in the video I was talking about that because I did the whole. You know what? You know where I get most of my microplastics from the dang coffee, man. The K-Cups. Huh?
The Keurig.
Yeah, K-Cups,
going
man.
through the pods.
Because once you punch that deal, that's a knife that goes down, creates a hole in that thing. Those plastics have got to go somewhere, and they're going in your body.
Maybe you should start drinking the teas like I do.
I do.
It's a bag.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a percolating machine. I'm going to go back to 1972, and I'm going to be percolating coffee at the house with coffee. I'm going to. I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know what? Nancy doesn't use K-Cups. She uses a K-Cup machine, but she does the coffee grounds in stainless steel. You can buy those little stainless steel K-Cups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And you put this is boring, isn't it? Is this boring talk?
No, it's good.
I think it's an interesting thing because if you got 84% of heart attack patients who have microplastics, and it's either coming through you're storing your food in plastic, which I do too,
or you're heating it up in the microwave.
Correct.
And Elaine, you do that with your Tupperware.
Yes, every day. Every day, like this morning. Okay, before I left the house.
But I don't have a heart, so.
That's point.
That's right.
I don't have a heart.
So anyway, it's true. I don't know. Anyway, this morning I make a taco. All right.
Yeah.
And I had some left over, so I put it in like a Tupperware
dish.
Put it in the fridge, so that it'll be there for me next time I want to make a taco. Well, now I'm like, I should have put it in glass. I'm going to go home and get rid of all the Tupperware.
Well, okay. I accidentally started doing this, and now I know that it's beneficial. I've been putting saran wrap in the Tupperware where I put food in, so it doesn't touch the plastic, and then the lid goes on top of it. No problem.
I wonder if the saran wrap is
I
bad
know.
for you. Know
I'm
what?
like, what? How are we going to dodge this?
No wonder you've been constipated. Saran wrap done constipated you.
No. You don't eat it.
You don't eat it.
Well, see, that's the problem. When you heat it up, it gets in the food.
Well, you take it out of the saran wrap and put it on a plate.
No, I got you.
But yeah, how do we avoid it?
You can't. It's everywhere. Well, like I have yet. I mean, it's been a long time since I have drunk out of a plastic water bottle. I don't touch those things. But plastic water bottles, you get it from that as well. So you're drinking out of a plastic. I know, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go.
Okay, so we're just going to eat with our hands like Neanderthals.
Pretty much.
Put our, like the, you see they put the food on the big bamboo leaves or whatever.
Well,
that's what we're going to be using.
And you know something else I've done? It had nothing to do with this, right? This didn't enter into my thinking. I just started to do it again because I've been enjoying it, but it's probably healthier. I've been cooking out on the grill again, and I'm using cast iron instead of, and I love the whole, what are those treated pans?
The non-stick Teflon stuff. Yeah,
I love those. Line one there, Elaine. I love those because I don't have to clean them. It doesn't take anything to clean them up, right?
But then you read about once they get scraped and the little particles go into your food.
And yes, they get hot. That material that keeps it non-stick gets in your food. You're ingesting it.
Oh, great.
Hell,
now we just got to eat raw meat and raw vegetables.
That's it.
And use your body heat.
Yeah, and we can't even heat up tortillas.
Put them in between your whatever.
Well, here's the thing.
In the warm parts of your heart.
Isn't it true that you can go crazy about this and that was what the research said. You can go nuts about this and really get crazy, or you can, live your life and just try to make a few better choices.
Be a little more conscious of it.
I remember that Ralph had, when I first met him, they would use the half quart of milk jugs to put water in it.
Sure.
And they would drink water with every meal.
Sure.
So about 10 years ago, I realized.
That's as redneck as it gets, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty redneck right there.
About 10 years ago, I got those things at Walmart, the glass ones. The carafes, what are they called?
Yeah, it's carafe.
And we would put water in them now.
Yeah, that's a smart idea, see?
Yeah.
You can buy your milk. If you buy the Promised Land, you can buy that in glass, by the way.
Yeah, my mom used to buy that.
Is Chris talking about this?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's on Chris's mind. Chris, do you want to contribute to this at all?
Absolutely. Just say thank you all for all that you do. Just remember this. All new houses have PET piping in it. They're plastic pipes.
Yes.
The red and the blue, we see it at all the big places.
Yep.
And, yeah, you're getting plastic no matter how you do it. And I've reached that age of 73, a little older than you, that, okay, I'm full of plastics. Maybe it'll make me live longer.
That's right.
You're a Kardashian.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it very much. Have a good one. You know what? He's right. My brother has said for years, and he's right, cancer has got to come from something we're all consuming. Right? Yes. Because it's too widespread, and you can take a black guy and a green girl and a brown girl and a brown guy and a white guy, and cancer is just too spread around. Something like he's talking about PVC piping. We all drink water through PVC. I'm doing it right now because I just got water out of our water fountain back there, and it went through PVC piping.
Isn't it? It's filtered.
Yeah, but it's not. You need better filters, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the water business is going to start saying we're going to be focusing on microplastics.
Well, and you hear me when I do the Alamo water commercials, I talk about the RO unit because it takes a lot of – we have filtration, and those filters are about that – they're like 2 feet long, really thick filters that fit underneath the sink. I'm telling you, that's going to help you too. I don't know. I didn't mean to bore everybody with this, but it's affecting everybody. 84% of people with heart attacks have microplastics in their body.
I'm just going to put whiskey in my water.
I know. That's like
that'll kill the microplastics right there. That kills everything, don't it?
Good Lord. I could quit smoking and still have a heart attack from microplastics.
Well, and
what's the point?
That was the thing they said. They said the number one thing is smoking. They said number one, quit smoking. Number two, adjust your life. And number three, like Elaine does, because this girl hadn't been sick since she started drinking whiskey. That whiskey just kills everything.
Well, now you know why I went 4 years without missing a day of work.
Right. She never got COVID because she drowned it. Trump said put bleach in your body. Elaine just put Seagram 7 in hers. It took care of it right then. BG products, man, you talk about a really cool thing for your car. BG is absolutely awesome. When you put BG products in your car, number one, when you put the MOA in the crankcase, and you don't do it, the guys who change your oil, I'm taking Fancy in next week to have her done. When you do that, you got the best lubrication you can possibly have. Now, lubrication helps in many different ways. Number one, helps protect your engine from wear and tear, costly repairs, all that breakdown stuff. I can't sit here and tell you, because it's not true, I can't sit here and tell you, oh, you use BG, you'll never have a problem with your car ever again. You know that'd be a load of you-know-what. So I wouldn't tell you that. But I will tell you, through all my years of racing, when I use BG products, we never had a racing engine failure and a problem with our racing engines. Now, that's hard. That's incredible, because those engines – number one, they're extremely expensive, and number two, they're in such high stress for such a long period of time. You've seen them on TV. You know what I'm talking about. And so the BG helped protect my racing engines and my current engines. All of our cars have BG in them. That's number one. Number two is fuel economy. Hey, $100 a barrel now. Gas prices going up again this weekend. You know it's going to happen. The engine that has less friction takes less gasoline to operate. Obviously, that's pure physics. And so BG can help you save money at the pump. BGFindAShop.com. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s, 77 now, KTSA. Don't stop till you get enough. Get your funk on, baby. It's Funky Friday, 7:48, Trey, Ware, KTSA. Sean will be back on Monday. We'll be back with Ware and Rima. We'll be doing our thing then. So one of the videos that I put up, and Sam is doing a great job, and I love it. I love reading your comments. And some of these comments obviously come from bots because they're really like stupid stuff that they would say. But for the most part, even when they're negative. So if you got something negative to say about one of my videos, please, I don't care. Either way, positive or negative, I don't care. Just say it. But one of them was about this whole ramp up that we have seen happen on the Iranian situation this week. The president has been very clear about taking out a lot of the military infrastructure in Iran this week. He's been concentrated on that. Every day this week, 13 straight nights, CENTCOM has been bombing the you-know-what out of Iranian sites. Okay, Elaine, let me turn the phones on. Do you mind? Can I do that? Let me turn the phones on. 210-599-5555.
It's your show.
Well, yeah, it is that. You're right. Why did I ask you that? I'm just being nice, that's all.
Oh, yes.
Elaine, turn the phones on right now.
No, I like it when you click and point at me on camera.
The phones don't ring in her room, so I can see them ringing. So for her to be able to know you're calling in, I have to snap my fingers at her, which is really rude, but I don't know. What else do you want me to say?
Sophie Cunningham.
Right, I could just point at you. Let me just point now. From here on out, I'll just go like this.
You can point, but don't snap your fingers.
Y'all call Elaine right now so I can point at her. 210-599-5555. Now, back to the topic at hand. I think the president is getting ready for something big, and I think it's coming this weekend. I don't know, guys. I'm just tossing it out there. It just looks like it. We moved 150 more medics into Germany so we can evac to Germany. We put new B-1 long-range bombers over there in Europe. We put new fighter jets in there and a whole bunch of elite ground forces. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to flood the zone with ground forces. All of this doesn't mean anything, really, because this could be the art of the deal man just saying, crossing his arms and saying, you going to make a deal or not? It could be that. Or it could be a combination of that, crossing his arms, you going to make a deal? Huh? Plus pulling a trigger. And after the House, and this shocked me, the House passed a joint resolution, or just a single resolution, on the War Powers Act telling the president to wind it down and get out. The Senate did not pass it, which was shocking, right? There you go, Elaine. I'm pointing. You can definitely tell that something is afoot. Something's happening over there. So your thoughts right now, 210-599-5555. Do you want the president to follow the House of Representatives and wrap it up, wind it down, get out of there, and come home? Do you want him to do that, or do you want him to just slaughter them? Go in like crap through a goose, as Patton said, and slaughter this thing. Get it over with. Knock out every missile, every drone in the country, and kill every one of their leaders, both religious and political and military. Is that what you want? Now, I go for the latter, because if you don't do that, you're going to be right back to having to mess with this again, just like for 47 years. Rain, I'm coming to your call, 210-599-5555. But first, a couple of comments from the video I put up on Facebook. Neil says we should destroy the IRGC completely, every blanking one of them. That's the other thing. If you go read the comments, you're going to see some bad words, but I can't help it. GJ says, dead can't fight. Sam said we definitely need to team up with another Arab country and completely obliterate the Iranian regime that continues to cause mayhem in the Middle East. Well, you know what? I'd love to see that happen, but nobody wants to do it. Nobody but President Trump. For 47 years, they've been dealing with this rat pack over there, and they won't do anything about it. Let's see here. Carol says, ramp up and finish it. Alice says, bomb the friggin' S word out of them. Blow the whole country off the face of the earth. Wow. Norman says, take care of business. Blank those Democrats. Rodney says, get it done. Andy says, hope you get lots of body bags. 210-599-5555. You'll hear from the Secretary of State on this in a sec. Rain, you're on. Good morning. Great to hear from you, Rain. Happy Friday.
Good morning. I confirmed the finger pointing, so I just wanted to make sure that my call was blessed with the finger pointing. I was one of the ones when he slowed down and did the memorandum. I was one of the ones like, what in the world are we doing?
Me too.
I understand why he did it now, but I want him to totally annihilate anybody that is in the bloodline of anybody in power. Get rid of them all. You have the backing of the Iranian people. They want to be free. And then I feel like we should go in like we did in Bosnia and make sure that their elections are democratic so they get the people get what they want.
And one other thing, Rain, do not rebuild them.
No.
Because that's one thing we always do, always have since World War II and Japan. We got to come in and we got to rebuild you because we feel bad about what we did. No, we don't feel bad about nothing. You guys declared war on us. We brought the war to you. We finished the job after 47 long years. And you know what? You can rebuild your own self. You can do it yourself. Or some, you know,
do it with their oil.
If somebody else, and thank you for your call, Rain. Always great to hear from you. Glad you're feeling better. If something else, you know, any of these other Gulf states want to jump in and help you out, or somebody over in Europe wants to help you out in rebuilding, fine. But I ain't rebuilding you. You declared war on me. I finished it. You can, you know what? You can fix your own scraped knees and wipe the blood off your own nose. I'm not going to do it for you. Trey, you're so hardcore. You're so mean. You're so terrible. I can't believe how terrible you are, Trey. No, this is real life we're dealing with here. You think I'm bad? Listen to Marco Rubio.
I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye.
Ooh, ha, 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 ha. Okay, I'm good with that. Let me put it this way. If I'm president and I'm in charge right now, and I'm not trying to say that I'm not a Trump supporter. I think he's wonderful. But if I'm in charge right now, not another American is going to die at the hands of Iranian forces. Not one more. Not today, not tomorrow, not 10 years from now. And for 47 years, they've been killing our people. And every president for 47 years has allowed them to take American life. Line one, Elaine. I don't know if you've ever been over here to the Center for the Intrepid, but I have a number of times hosting shows over there, lunches, barbecues, all those kinds of things. And I can tell you right now, you go through there and your life, if your life has not changed, you're a stone cold, hard-hearted, awful person. But the Iranians for 47 years have been killing our people. And if you look in the faces of those four precious people that I brought up on the video a couple of days ago that the president went to the dignified transfer at Dover, if you look into their faces, their pictures, and you can tell me that you want this to continue for 5 more minutes, 30 more seconds, I don't want anything to do with you. I really don't. I don't want anything to do with you. Because this should have been cleaned up by Jimmy Carter when they first went in and stormed that place and took our hostages for 440 days. Carter should have blown them to smithereens right then. Said, you're done. We're not playing these games. And so we've been playing games for 47 years. The games are over. You're not taking one more American life. It's over. And I love Trump, but this whole thing about you take another American life and I'm going to take a bridge. No, I don't think so. No. You ain't taking no more American lives. Robert, go right ahead. You're on.
Trey, let me bounce this off you. You know, I agree with everything you talk about. I would like to think rationalization that Trump is playing this out for one of these reasons, being that he's trying to let the public, let the world know I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. And so when he does obliterate them, he's like, I told you so. I've tried.
No,
he's putting it out there.
Robert, I got to jump. I hear you, man, and I understand that line of thinking, that rationalization. But that doesn't work when we're talking about the lives of Americans. Back in a minute, Trey, Ware, KTSA.
You wake up every day lucky enough to be a
Okay, leadership in New York giving an update on the stabbings of the Jewish man yesterday. Let's dip into that coverage, see what they're talking about.
We're praying for the Jewish and Asian victims of this brutal attack. And as we thank the PD, we also, we've been in touch with the DA's office, and we expect the DA to fully prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And we appreciate their outreach as well. Whether or not this attack is ultimately prosecuted as a hate crime, its impact is already being felt. In a city where anti-Semitism continues to account for the largest share of reported hate crimes year after year, a reality we desperately wish did not exist, fear has become a lived experience for far too many Jewish New Yorkers. That is not normal. Today, Jewish parents are asking whether it is safe for their children to wear a kippah or a Magen David in public. Synagogues preparing for Shabbat are wondering whether they can afford additional security. Camp directors fielding calls from anxious parents whether it's safe to send their kids to camp. This attack also reminds us that hatred rarely stops with one community. We stand in solidarity with our Asian American neighbors who know all too well the devastating consequences of rhetoric that fueled hatred and violence during the pandemic. Words matter.
Yes.
Leadership matters.
Yes.
The climate we create matters.
Yes.
No elected official is responsible for every act of hate, but every leader is responsible for helping shape the climate in which we all live.
That's right.
At a time when one of the most common manifestations of anti-Semitism is the dangerous practice of holding all Jews collectively responsible for disagreements with the policies of the Israeli government. Responsible leadership requires lowering the temperature, not raising it. I think about as well at the Park Slope Food Co-op at a board meeting where Jews were called Nazis. I think about Tion Cafe in Harlem, where they had to, an Ethiopian Israeli immigrant owner, business owner, had to partially close her business because of rising hate. New York's greatest strength is that people of every faith, race, and background can live openly, worship freely, and stand together. That is the city we must defend, and we will defend, with moral clarity, responsible leadership, and unwavering commitment to reject hatred in every form with every fiber of our being. And it gives me great honor to introduce some of our leaders and friends who are with us today. I want to begin by acknowledging...
Okay, let me have it back. That is Mark Traeger, JCRC, the Jewish Community Relations Council CEO in New York. They were talking about the stabbing yesterday of a Jewish man on the Upper West Side. We understand he's in relatively good condition in the hospital. This was a guy, allegedly, Raul Morales. He's 51. He was shouting Allahu Akbar, has 7 arrests. And I just tell you what I want to do. I want to go ahead and open up the phones at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. I lay this at the feet of the mayor of New York City. I have been telling you now all week this week, but over the past several months, number one, Mamdani is a Jew hater, okay? He is a radical Islamist, and he is the mayor of New York City, and he hates Jews, period, full stop. If you read the man's stuff, if you go back before he was the mayor of New York City, he has a string of Jew hatred coming out of his mouth. And I have been warning every day this week, both on KTSA and online. You can go back and see my videos all week long. KTSA Facebook page, where I've been talking about his hateful rhetoric toward Jews, and in particular toward Benjamin Netanyahu, saying he's a war criminal, lock him up, put him in a Hague. Now, I've been telling you all week this week, both on the radio and on our Facebook page, exactly why he's doing that. Number one, to incite people. And listen, I lay what happened yesterday. The man wearing the kippah, I'm laying that at the feet of Mamdani's mouth because it's just too close. Didn't take that long for that to come about, did it? In less than a week, you had a guy find a guy with a kippah, allegedly, and stab him. The other reason he's doing it has to do with the ICC, the International Criminal Court. You see, being a commie who wants to overthrow our system of governance in the United States, he obviously wants the ICC to supplant our Constitution. And what the ICC does, guys, and every president since Bill Clinton has kept us out of the ICC. And if AOC becomes the president of the United States, don't laugh. Don't laugh. Or if Kamala Harris becomes the president of the United States, they'll get us under the ICC, which means you and I could be arrested by an international court, and we would have no recourse constitutionally to defend ourselves. That's what Mamdani wants. Why? Because commies always do this. They arrest away the problem. Their opposition, they have two ways of dealing with the opposition. All commies do this. It's the same way Hitler dealt with the opposition. You lock them in a gulag or a concentration camp, or you kill them. That's it. And it's much easier for him to have the ICC do it. So he's been pushing this concept that the ICC should come into in the United States of America and arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. Then all of our military, because they're all war criminals, and the man has said it. Our military, who's had anything to do with Gaza and Israel, they're war criminals. I want you to listen to Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State, talk about the ICC. Pay close attention to the way our Secretary of State defines the International Criminal Court.
Well, here's how I reconcile it. We're not members of the ICC. We never signed that treaty. We never joined it. And they somehow claim that they have a right, nonetheless, to go after non-treaty members and put heads of state and others in jail. We've long had quarrels with them, and we have lunatics and crazies involved in the ICC that are talking about charging members of the U.S. military, maybe even the president or a future president, with crimes. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. We are not members of that court. We never signed on to that treaty. They need to understand that. If people want to sign on and be a part of that stupid organization, they can. But we're not going to be a part of it, and they're not going to apply their jurisdiction to Americans. That's just not going to happen. We're not going to tolerate it now or in the future, and we've warned them about it repeatedly. And now they're going to see the consequences of ignoring us.
Now, he says now and in the future. He can't control the future, okay? We all know that. And I love Marco Rubio. But he can't control the future because if, let's just say, that AOC wins the presidency or Kamala Harris. They are both totally sold out to the concept. Number one, AOC is sold out to the concept of communism overtaking the United States, okay? Kamala Harris said earlier this week she will do whatever it takes to become president, latching on to what she called the prevailing winds of the time. Right now, the prevailing winds of the time are Kami Mamdani. I agree with Ted Cruz, or he agrees with me. Mamdani is the most powerful Democrat in America today. Mamdani wants to do what Barack Hussein just did with Joe Biden. He was born in Uganda. He cannot become president of the United States according to our current Constitution. There's already discussion about changing the Constitution so foreigners can become a president of the United States. Guys, this is not out of the realm of possibility. I want you to understand. If you're sitting there driving along going, that'll never happen. It's never going to happen. I'm telling you, these folks are becoming very successful at what they're doing. We need to be on guard about this. We need to pay close attention to what they're doing. They're worming their way into it. In fact, played for you the sound from this one woman that got elected, and she's saying, we're going to have to bring more people from the globalist South into the United States and get them elected to positions of power. The most glaring examples, number one, is Ilhan Omar. She's not from here, and she's made it clear when she speaks in Somalis, she's not here to serve the United States. She has a totally different purpose for being here, and it's all about Somalia. Rashida Tlaib is all about the Palestinians. They're in our government. And now, Mamdani, he's not long to be the mayor of New York City. Listen to Ted Cruz.
My prediction is Comrade Mamdani will be the next Democrat senator from New York, that Mamdani will replace Schumer. I think Mamdani is the single most powerful Democrat in the country. And I got to say, by the way, there are some Republicans that are celebrating. This is great. Our opponents are crazy. That's going to help us. I want to say for the record, I'm not celebrating.
He's absolutely right. This whole concept of saying, oh, my God, yes, please, go ahead, Mamdani, run to be senator, replace Chuck Schumer. That'll be just an easy win for us. Oh, no, don't think that way.
I think this is bad for the country. I think this is unhealthy. I want to see two normal parties that are not filled with crazy people who can actually do something reasonable and who actually love the country.
210-599-5555. 210-599-5555. By the way, the guy who allegedly stabbed those two, including the Jewish man, had 7 arrests. 7. Told you over and over again, this business of these guys reoffending and going back into the system, and a judge looking at their record, some judge somewhere looked at this man's record and saw 7 arrests and said, sure, you can go back out there, and he stabbed a man, yelling Allah Akbar. Happens all the time, guys. It is an issue. If we want to live, as I say, in an ordered society, that's an issue you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to stop that crap of these judges and whoever else, DAs or whatever, releasing criminals on the streets time and time and time again, knowing what the result is going to be, knowing that they're going to go back out there and they're going to reoffend, and next time it could be your baby. It's not going to be their baby because the judge's baby lives behind, walls with the big gates and everything else. No, it's going to be your baby. We have to deal with that. There's 2 things that we have to be serious about in this country. If you take a life, we're going to take yours. Period. We ain't waiting for 30 years. You take a life, we're going to take yours. And number 2, if you don't want to live in an ordered society, hey, no problem. We have bricks and bars. You can go live there with the other people who made a conscious decision to not live in an ordered society. You can go to Huntsville, you can go to Cuero, you can go to all these other places that we have bricks and bars, and you can live with the other morons who don't want to live in an ordered society. So the rest of us can. And the judges and the DAs who consistently let these people back out and they reoffend, we have to deal with them too. If we're going to have an ordered society, if we're going to live in peace and safety, so your babies will be safe, so your babies don't have to worry about walking down the street and being stabbed, or sitting in their car off of Sonterra and 281 and being shot. You're going to have to cure this. Eventually, you're going to have to cure it. Let me throw the phones up at 210-599-5555. Trey Ware, KTSA. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s for your high. 75 right now, KTSA.
Connected.
About a dozen years ago, I started a thing on Fridays. Just wanted to get a little funk going. I call it Funky Friday. Let's go, boys. Do it again. Give me one more blast of your voice. That's what I like. It's 8:23. Trey, Ware, KTSA. I don't know, y'all. I'm getting a feeling down deep in my bones that something big is going to happen this weekend with Iran. I just think the president, he's a golfer. We know that. He loves golf. So he's a strategic thinker. He thinks very strategically about this stuff because that's what you have to do in order to play golf. And he's a really good golfer. There's a lot of strategy you got to think. So let's just use one of the golfing terms. He's teed it up so well. This is teed up to be a boom this weekend. Moved in all those forces. Moved in the extra medics just in case. Moved in the B-1 Long Rangers. Moved in the extra jets. All the elite forces he's moved in over there. I'm guessing that's Green Beret and that's SEALs and all those kind of guys that'll just, they'll handle business, right? Plus Marines. Are you kidding me? So he's got all that going on. All week long we've been hitting their missile launchers and those sites like that and their drone storage facilities. We've been hitting all that stuff all week long, 13 days straight. Boom, 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 boom. Just seems to me that he's got this teed up, using that golf term, teed up to go whack with a giant wood and knock this thing about 500 yards down the fairway. It just seems to me like he's going to go in and take care of business. Now, I don't know that, guys, so Monday we could come in here and nothing happen, okay? But if it does shake loose, I've already talked to Sam. I'll be posting some stuff on the Facebook page this weekend so you can follow along. We'll keep you posted, keep you updated. But I don't know, it just feels like something. I mean, he's even put out, he's weighing a new, heavier attack on them. They're going to pay like they never paid. And then he sent Marco Rubio out to say this.
Guys, I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye.
I mean, just listen to the intensity he's talking about.
He's ready to play.
What's that?
He's ready to play whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon because the price they're paying is very high, despite their tough talk and their flowery language, despite all.
So the way this just sounds to me, I'm not a military expert, guys. I'm far from it, okay? I'm just telling you the way it sounds to me. I've been listening to these guys talk for so many decades now. Like he's got his arms crossed and he's standing there and boom, boom, boom. A lot of stuff's going to blow up like we haven't seen blow up in forever over there. I mean, this could be the most intense we've ever seen over there. And then they're standing there, he and Rubio going, you ready to make a deal now? Or you want some more? You want some more of this? It just seems like that's where they've set this thing up to be. You want some more of this? Until somebody over there says, no, I don't want any more. And I had a call before the last break at the top of the hour, and a guy said, I think he's just trying to exhaust everything to say, okay, I've exhausted everything. I've given peace a chance. Look, 47 years we have been giving peace a chance. 47 years. So he was justified on day one destroying every one of them. He was. I'm not talking about the civilians, guys. I'm talking about the leadership. I'm talking about the military. Trump would have been justified the very first day because he got 47 years of them killing Americans. 47 years, guys. Not just the most recent ones that we talked about this week. I'm talking about 47 years they've been killing Americans. Not one more American ought to die. Back in a minute, Trey, Ware, KTSA.
Yes, of Ware and Rima.
And the mid to upper 90s all weekend will be a good day to be by the pool, be chilling, taking it easy. That's what I'm talking about. Trey Ware here. Sean will be back on Monday. So Elon sat down with the economist, and she was a snooty little B word. She really was. And she was trying, and that didn't work with him. It just didn't fly.
Yeah, my political views are very are centrist. They're not far right, and frankly, calling it far right, I think, is an insult to history, an insult to many peoples, and it is an outrageous falsehood. It's completely absurd. I literally have stated my position, which is that, and I've been very clear about this, which is that there need to be secure borders. That if there's an influx of immigrants, they need to be people who will agree that with Western ideals, with Western values. And if they don't, and if there's a long-term growth of people who do not, or in some cases are adamantly opposed to Western values, you are setting yourself up for civil war. This is obvious. A child can see this. But this is not a right-wing view. I'm simply stating reality.
He's so right. If you import people into your country who hate your country, then you're going to have civil war in the streets of your country because they hate you. They hate your country. Can you not understand this? That's exactly what the Democrats have been trying to do for years. They want a civil war here, so the whole thing collapses and communism rises. Go ahead. Y'all keep talking over there.
It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
You know, he's just a common sense dude. And that's what we don't have in our world now is a common sense. He's a legend. Here's some more.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Oh, you're going to love this. I support the normal people. Listen.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years.
I want you to pay close attention to this part. Turn your radio up just a little bit. I want you to hear this part.
And these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left. And say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh, wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama.
Folks, I've done that. It's on my X account, at Trey Ware Show at X, where people have walked up to folks at left-wing events and gone, let me read you a quote. We got to get all these people out of here. They're illegal aliens. They shouldn't be in our country. And the left-winger will go, see, that's why I hate Donald Trump. He's so mean. And then you go, no, those were the words of Barack Obama. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, let's go back to 2008. How long ago was that? Were you alive in 2008? Let me go back to 2008. Listen to this man.
The Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. As president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need.
Oh, man. That was Donald Trump. I guess he was channeling Barack Obama. No. It's the other way around. Barack Obama was channeling Donald Trump. 2008. And that's the point of this. If you go back just a few years, the place where Trump is right now is where Democrats, where Obama was when he was running for president. But they have gone so far to the left into this communist nonsense that now They don't even sound like normal people. And this woman who is calling the normal people radical far right, she's absolutely wrong. Let's listen to Elon talk about this again because it's so true. You just heard me do it. Let me play that again from Elon.
I think that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary and then go to someone and say who's sort of you know, on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama.
If you were to transcribe the speech that I just played for you from Obama and just write it down and walk up to a lefty like he's suggesting, it would sound like a Donald Trump speech from today. Just the words, not Obama's voice.
The Bush administration has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away.
You write that down and you go up to a lefty and you read it. They'll oh, Donald Trump is horrible. His position on this is awful. That's Barack Obama in 2008. Go ahead, Elon.
Well, actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking about people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal.
I love that word. Okay, we use it. I use it here. Normal people is something that John Nolte over at Breitbart uses. It's one that is supposed to be used. Elon has used it forever. We're talking about normal people. Okay, we're talking about common sense, normal people. No radicals on the right. The Democrats have positioned any normal person that way to hide their own extremism. They're the extremist. They're the commie extremists in the room. Those of us who are just common sense folk, we're the normal people. It's normal to want secure borders. It's normal to want safe streets. It's normal to want this kind of America.
And here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible.
Listen to what he's going to say. This is just normal stuff that every normal person wants.
That we should have secure borders.
And the Democrats don't want secure borders.
That we should have safe cities.
And the Democrats obviously don't want safe cities. They're the ones turning out these guys that have been through the system 20, 30 times.
That we should have sensible spending.
Sensible spending. They're the ones that funneled all that money through the NGOs. They're the ones who created all the fraud out there.
Which of those three are far-right fringe? And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in. But
I'm glad he did that because what they do is they'll edit that stuff out when he gets ready to go, you know.
Don't cut this part.
Let me push back on that. Let me push back on that.
Because you have nonsense.
Elon, you have, what is it, close to 250 million followers on X.
Yeah.
You say things like...
What is she going to push back on? Everything that the man just said makes perfect sense. We want secure borders, safe streets, and sensible spending. Who doesn't want that? The radical left. Not normal people. Normal people, that's exactly what we want. I call it an ordered society, and I keep pushing this idea that anybody who doesn't want to live in an ordered society can go live behind bricks and bars with all the other people that have chosen that they don't want to live in an ordered society. That's fine. If you want to live among a bunch of beasts, we have in every state bricks and bars. Although, let me bring that. This is a good place to insert this. James Tallarico wants to get rid of prisons. His words, not mine. There once was a time where you couldn't imagine living with a microwave, but you've learned how to do it. And so now you're going to learn to live without prisons. Tallarico, wants to abolish the police and prisons. Folks, that ain't normal. There ain't nothing normal about that. Go ahead, Elon.
Well, one of the reasons I took SpaceX public is so that the public could participate in, they could own a piece of SpaceX, whereas as a private company, we're very limited in the number of shareholders we're allowed to have before going public. So as a public company, we can have millions of shareholders. As a private company, we're limited to just a few thousand shareholders.
She had asked him, why would you take SpaceX public? Well, obviously he wants to create more wealth among more people, okay? And that's exactly what he's doing. I'm waiting very patiently, and in the next few weeks, personally, I'm going to make some purchases of the Starlink stuff. I got to have it. But I'm just being very patient on when my buy time is going to be. This guy's brilliant, and he's got it figured out, and he's just a normal guy wanting normal stuff for the rest of us normal people. It's the people like her from The Economist, and it's the people like on ABC, and it's the people on CNN. They're not normal, folks. James Tallarico is not normal. Mamdani is not normal. AOC is not normal. They're the ones who are the nut jobs. They're the ones who are positioning us as the nut jobs, but we want secure borders, safe streets, and sensible spending. Who's normal and who's not? 210-599-5555. Back in a minute. Trey Ware, KTSA. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s. Right now, 75 at KTSA. Friday. 8:48. Trey Ware, KTSA. One of my favorite days of the week. Outside of Monday. Monday's my favorite day. I know it's weird, but that's the way it is, baby. Got to bring the funk. Why don't you sing through that filter, son? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. 210-599-5555. Okay, so there's several ways to stay connected with us. Number one is here on KTSA 550-1071 FM, okay? And you can always call me, 210-599-5555. We got a little over an hour left together. Sean will be back on Monday. Okay, so love to hear from you. The other way you stay connected is over on our Facebook page. I post videos over there, and they're just another way of you can just see what we're doing at all times,
and
day
and
night.
You can comment on
ideas.
your videos.
Well, I was just about to say.
Yeah.
That you can comment on the videos, and I hope that you do, even if you hate me and hate what I got to say. Just say it. Say what you think. And the same is true at our YouTube page, because you can watch us. We put a camera in the studio. It's rather rudimentary. It's just a camera sitting on a tripod over there, because we wanted to connect with you that way as well. And Daniel Price is over here, and he's commenting. You can comment on the KTSA YouTube page and say what you think, what you don't think. He's over there saying Elon stole all your data. Elon is going to get you. Elon is awful. Elon is the epitome of evil, and all those kind of things. Which
He's on a roll.
Yeah.
He hates Elon. He hates us.
Oh no,
and he wants us to quit acting like children.
Oh, okay.
Yet he's posted like 7 or 8.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. I'll stop acting like a children. I don't know when I've acted like a child, but that's just fine. Same is true with Elon. Elon didn't steal nothing. Elon ain't got to steal nothing from you, okay, or anybody else. He's got nothing he's got to steal. He's the richest man on planet Earth. It's not from theft. What Elon did, Elon came to this country with a few bucks in his pocket and his mama, okay? And when he was in college, he started his very first business with less than $3,000 that he earned himself, okay? And then he sold that business for a ton of money just a few short years later. That's what we used to call the American dream, although the commies are changing that into now the American dream is I sit on my ass and you send me money. I sit in a house that you pay for, taxpayers pay for. I drive a car or Uber or take a train that taxpayers pay for. That's the new American dream for people in this country. And, folks, that's the end of America. You think you want to go toward communism, that's the end of the country. It's over. You tell me. Let's play a little game here, lefties. Come on now. Put your money where your mouth is. 210-599-5555. Come on, commies. Come on, lefties. Play a little game. Name for me any communist country, now or in the past, that has ever existed on planet Earth, where you can go to that country the way Elon came to the United States, nothing in your pockets, get yourself an education, and become the world's richest man. Just tell me where that can happen. And I'm not talking about going in there and getting into their government and then killing everybody like Mao did. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about starting a business, selling it, starting a business, selling it, starting it, taking risk, and building your own empire, not having to kill people, not having to steal, but building your own empire and becoming the world's richest man. Name for me one communist country you can do that. Can you do that in China? You know the answer to that, don't you? Can you do that in Venezuela? You know the answer to that. Can you do that in Cuba? Cuba? You know the answer to that. Can you do that in Russia? You know the answer to that. There ain't another one on planet Earth that you can go into as an immigrant like Elon Musk, and you can start with nothing and end up being the world's richest man. But right now, folks, we have a big problem in our country where the Democrat left has for years now controlled the media, movies, music, and school. And they have programmed the brains of little snot-nosed weirdos to believe that it should just come to them because they breathe air. Just by the fact that you exist, You breathe and you poop, so you ought to get a house. You breathe and you poop, so you ought to get money from us. No other. You don't have to do anything else. Just make sure you breathe every second and then you poop once a day, and you're going to get money from the federal government. That's what they've taught them. And the reason they have taught them that is to enslave them. That's all communism ever does. There is no middle class where you get up and go to work and you build something yourself and then you have your own personal property. You know, pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of the American dream, all those things that we have set this country up for, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, it doesn't exist in communist countries, not one of them. You have the extreme wealthy at the top. There is nothing in the middle. And then you got everybody else down here that's in all kinds of poverty who's working to feed those at the top. That's communism. That's the direction the United States is on right now with these weirdos who comment on my stuff, who love this idea of Tallarico being the next senator from here. Because that's what he's for. How long, let me just ask you a question. How long do you think we survive without cops and without prisons? Got any idea? Do you want to make a guess? Do you just want to give me a word or two about how long you think we survive without cops in prison?
I think we'll survive longer here in the South than other parts of the country.
That's
I'll
true.
put it that way.
We're a little bit better equipped for that, aren't we? But I'm talking about as a society.
No,
as a people.
That's 18 months max collapse.
I give it a month or two.
Well, look at Austin.
Here's why. Well, Austin's a good example, but let me give you why I say that. They just imported a whole bunch of criminals here into the United States from all these prisons down south, didn't they? Obama, Biden, the last 4 years that we went with. And you see exactly how that turned out. Murders increased. Rapes went off the charts. All these guys who came in here from those prisons down there, the reason they were locked up in prison down there is because they raped and killed people. So when they turned them loose and Biden, Obama brought them in here over the last 4 years, they killed a bunch of girls here. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. I can sit here and name them. We have been doing that now for months on this show, naming the little girls here that these guys from TDA and all these other gangs that came into this country have been killing and raping. Well, you know, Corey Ruiz, Madison, Wisconsin, allegedly attacked cops with a knife. Cops killed him. Protesters have been flooding the streets. Raul Genesis Ortiz Moran, 29, illegal alien in West Virginia, allegedly murdered and sexually assaulted a 2-year-old little girl. Line 1, Elaine. 2-year-old little girl. He's in ICE custody. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that came into this country who, without prisons and without police, it would be ultimate chaos on the streets. Tallarico wants to do away with police and away with prisons. I didn't say it, guys. He did. He said it. You can go see him and hear him say it on my X account at Trey Ware Show. Go ahead, Will. You're on. Happy Friday to you, my friend.
Happy Friday. Just have a little paradigm for all the commies out there today. You know, these commies like to promise everybody all this stuff. They're going to give you this.
Will, let me get you to start over again. I couldn't hear what you said. Go right ahead, please.
Okay. I just want to let all these little commies out there, a little paradigm for them, because they're always promising that they're going to give you this or give you that. But I can tell you this one thing. The government is never going to give you nearly as much as an employer will or a customer will. It'll never, ever happen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, Will, you and I both know what happened. Thank you for your call. 210-599-5555. Thank you, Jimmy. I got it, 5830. So, look, here's the deal. You have an opportunity in this country to make something of yourself because you sell yourself to the highest bidder. Your talent, your abilities, your creativity, your hard work, your backbone, all of those things. In commie countries, you can't do that. They tell you what you're going to do and when you're going to do it and how you're going to do it and how much you're going to make for doing it. Just like what Mom Donnie did yesterday. You got a Jew getting killed and he didn't die, but he got stabbed by some guy shouting Allahu Akbar after hearing Mamdani scream about Jews all week, his Jew hatred. And while that's going on, Mamdani posts, if you own a second home in New York, make sure you check your mail because I sent you a higher tax bill. That's what they do. They don't reward you for your labor. You're punished, and they take more from you for your labor and your ideas and your creativity. We all know this because we've watched history happen. And yet, even after watching history, we're walking down the road of the same path. Nobody's called me to tell me what communist country Elon Musk could have done what he did here. Not one. 210-599-5555. Trey Ware, KTSA.
The Orange has evolved. Our team's been
All right, that's what we got, baby. Because I love Funky Friday. Uh-huh. Trey Ware here, son. I'll be back on Monday. So what do you do for the weekend? I'm going to grill. I'm going to get in the pool. I'm going to chill. I'm going to watch the president, see if he just obliterates Iran. Well, it could happen, you know. Quite possible that he takes them just down the street, gives them a good butt whipping, you know, which is obviously what they need. They need a good old South Texas butt whipping. Take them out behind the shed, lay the wood to them, and then see if they can stand back up when you're done laying the wood to them. It's that simple.
We could do Yellowstone and take them to the train station.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Ooh.
You take them in the back, put them in the back of the truck, go for a ride.
Trains over there.
Do you know what the train station means, Elaine?
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Okay.
Come on.
She's a Yellowstone girl.
I've only seen like 3 episodes, and one of them had that, and I was like, that's cold.
That's all you got to do. You know, that's the way my dad used to put it, right? Never start a fight, son. Don't. But if somebody starts one with you, you finish it. You don't let them get back up. You keep my dad used to say it this way. You keep coming till he can't stand up again. You hit him so hard, you knock him down, and you keep coming till he can't stand up again. Well, listen, that's where we are with Iran right now, in my view. In my personal humble opinion, I'm not one of these, you know, military strategy aficionados. I'm far from it, guys. You guys that actually served, you know more about this than I'll ever know. But I'm just curious. This is just me looking. Number one, I'm just looking at this week, okay? And I know that he has, like, teed it up. He's ready to do it, to do business. So he has taken out a lot of military infrastructure this week. He's taken out a lot of missile sites. He's taken out a lot of drone capabilities. He's just gotten his ducks in a row. That's what it is. He's put the ducks in a row for a pretty exciting weekend. He's put more elite U.S. forces on the ground in the Middle East. He's put a bunch of medics, 150 more medics into Germany. He's put more B-1 long-range bombers in place. He's put more jet aeroplanes in place. And no telling what all else he's put into place. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's on the back of a Tomahawk that's in a submarine right out there in the Gulf. You don't know. It just seems to me that he has been talking all week about, you know what, they're not ready to make a deal. I'm going to get them ready to make a deal. They're going to be ready to make a deal. It's deal time. They're not ready to make a deal. I wish they were ready for making a deal, but they're going to have to be hit harder. How many times this week did I play that for you on this show? You can see it on my X account. We're just going to have to make them ready. They're going to have to be hit harder and harder and harder until they're ready. And then Marco Rubio came out and said it.
I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon.
They're not ready to make a deal yet, but they will be soon. That sounds to me like some serious S is going to go down this weekend. Like, we're not going to stand back. I'm hoping that's right, guys. I really am. Because it's not just the past 4 months, 5 months. This is 47 years when they have been killing our people for 47 years, blowing off their legs and their arms with IEDs, doing some of the most disgusting things you can imagine through Hamas over in Gaza, where they took them below the earth and raped them, and even after they died, continued to rape their bodies, their dead bodies. These are the animals that you're talking about. The Iranian leadership. I'm not talking about the Iranian people. And we have yet to strike any Iranian civilians. We have been taking out military infrastructure, such as their drones, such as their missiles, such as that kind of stuff, the yellow cake and all that kind of stuff that was in the mountains last summer. That's what we've been focused on. We have not been focused on these civilian sites. We have stayed away from that stuff. But you know what? It's probably time to start turning off some lights over there. No, it really is. Better turn off some AC. Make them a little hot. Line 2, Elaine. Make them a little hot. Let them feel the heat. It's very hot over there this time of year. Turn off the AC. In other words, if they're not ready to make a deal, then you utterly decimate them and take out their leadership, and I'm talking about all forms of their leadership, from the religious nuts who have been running that country since 1979, to the so-called diplomats, who aren't really diplomats, all the way to the military infrastructure, the military leadership, and take out every single drone, every single missile. If you can see a gnat on a nose from our Space Force, then take it out. Destroy it. There's no reason to leave one drone or one missile standing. Completely and utterly neuter Iran. By this time Monday, when you and I talk again at 6 a.m. Monday morning, okay, there shouldn't be any military infrastructure or leader left in Iran. Every leader should be dead, and every drone and every missile incapacitated, destroyed. 210-599-5555. No, I'm in a great mood. No, I really am. I feel better than I have in a long, long time. I'm in a great mood. I'm just ready for 47 years. These people declared war on us 47 years ago. I'm just ready for it to be over. Hey, Mary, happy Friday to you. What's up?
Happy Friday, Trey. I'm just wondering, all these socialists who want to abolish the prisons, we all know that socialism is just like a baby form of communism and Marxism. But what do you think those people have? They have gulags, which are a whole lot worse than prisons.
Yes, exactly right, Mary. So when you're hearing Democrat, and thank you for the call, have a great weekend. When you're hearing Democrat Socialists of America, that's not socialism. First of all, socialism always is intertwined with communism. Socialism always leads to the control of the means of production, which is communism. But these folks who call themselves DSA, they're already saying that they're communists by saying we are going to control the means of production in this country. I'll give you one quick example, and then I'm going to go to Matt's call, and I got two lines open. So in New York, Mamdani, who's the biggest communist in the Democrat Party right now, the most powerful Democrat right now is Mamdani. He has already said he's going to start taking the homes and apartments, the rental properties of landlords up there. He's already said he's going to do it. And he's got a method to do it. In other words, he's going to make it more difficult for those landlords to make a buck. And when they can't make a buck, Mamdani's going to come in and take it, and then he, the city of New York, is going to own those properties, whether it's a rent home or an apartment complex. That's what you call controlling the means of production. And that's communism. That's not socialism. Communism and socialism are always intertwined, and they always end up in poverty and death. You mentioned gulags a second ago. They have two things in communism they have to do. They have to eliminate the opposition, and the way they always do it, whether it's the fascists of Hitler or whether it's the Soviets under Stalin or whether it's Mao and the Chinese, they either, one, put you in a gulag if you're the opposition, or number two, they kill you. Look what Mamdani has been saying all week long about Benjamin Netanyahu. He needs to be locked up in a gulag at The Hague. That's the start of it, folks, and it just grows from there. Hey, Matt, you're on. Happy Friday. What's going on?
Hey, happy Friday to you as well. You know, there was another president that started with the last name of TRU who had to make some pretty difficult decisions back around the time.
That's right.
Now, I'm not saying Iran necessarily needs a Nagasaki special followed by a Hiroshima fireball, but you can't the deal. That works with rational people. You're talking with people that have the minds of a 7-year-old. Trump is never going to be able to make a deal with these people. Just bomb them and be done with it.
I agree 100% with what you said, Matt. Thank you, Ricky. Hey, you're on. Happy Friday, Ricky.
Hey, thank you, sir. Happy Friday to you and your staff. My comment is, I drive big truck. I drive 18-wheeler. I'm an owner-operator. I pay for my own diesel. And I've been paying a lot of diesel since this time started, and it's cost me a lot of money. I've took the hit. It's time for us to hit. It's time for him to go over there, take care of business, so that we can stop feeling the hurt over here. I'm just tired of the nonsense. Let's just get it done. I want it done. I want it over with.
Everything you just said, Ricky, and more. Thank you, and be safe out there on the roads, especially I-35. John, you're on. Happy Friday, John.
Happy Friday, Trey. On this war that's been going on for 47 years, it's actually been going on for a lot longer than that. If you dial the time machine back to 1170 through 1190 A.D., that's the time of King Richard. And you had the same players, the Christians, the Jews, the infidels, or the Muslims, and they've been doing the same thing. The only difference I could see was King Richard was throwing the homosexuals out the window instead of the Muslims.
Well, the Muslims do that now. They throw you off a building with zip ties on your hands. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate the call. All right, I'm just going to leave this open for now. 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. You tell me where you are, because the House passed the War Powers resolution yesterday that said, Mr. President, wind it down. Let's get out of there. Okay, which shocked me that the House did that. The Senate did not. I would have thought it would have been the other way around. Okay, but that's what happened. The House passed the war resolutions. And, of course, Thomas Massie and a couple other Republicans, I think there were 4 Republicans voted with the Democrats to tell the president, get out of there. So, and that doesn't surprise me. Massie's a Democrat, y'all. He always has been. Okay, that whole fake thing. It's like John Cornyn, that whole fake thing that, oh, no, I'm a Republican. I support Donald Trump. No, you don't. You're a total Democrat, and he's proven it now. You know, he had his Liberation Day as well. Anyway, they say get out now, and I say no, just finish it. Then get out. Wrap this puppy up. I'd like to start having troop withdrawal next week after they're a smoking heap over there. And I'm talking about the leadership. I'm talking about the political leadership. I'm talking about the religious leadership, because it's one and the same. And I'm talking about the military leadership and all of their equipment. Not one missile, not one drone left. It's all gone as of this time Monday morning. You tell me what you think. 210-599-5555, KTSA. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s. Right now it's 81 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, still the heaviest delay is 281 northbound at Grayson.
That's what we call Funky Friday. Started this about, 12 years or so ago. And I love just jamming on a Friday. It gets the weekend started just right. Just right. Uh-huh. All right, let me give you a couple of ways to stay connected. The YouTube channel this morning's on fire with the comments. Just running one after the other, so you can get in there and spew your stuff if you want to. That'd be great. And on the Facebook page, I got a couple of videos up. One of them, and I got more coming. One of them is about Mamdani and his words this week, and I believe are a large extent why we had a guy get stabbed, a Jew get stabbed on the Upper West Side of New York yesterday. Mamdani was, I believe, angling for something to happen, and that's why he kept bringing up Benjamin Netanyahu needs to be in The Hague. He's a war criminal and all that. And what you're saying is, Jews are awful people, and take out the Jews. And he's always believed that. He's always been his position. Hey. So that's not anything new for the commie radical Islamist who is running New York City. Go ahead, Jimmy. What were you going to say?
What's the visit? Benjamin's meeting with Trump next week. They just announced. But that's not the coming to New York City next week.
No, that's a totally different deal.
Is that Benjamin getting called into the principal's office?
No. They are sitting down for something totally separate, but they're going to talk about what's going to happen, I believe, this weekend. Now, the one that Mamdani wants him arrested for, he's coming to his UN in September for a meeting.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And he wants him arrested then when he's going to be out on the streets. It's not going to happen. But and Mamdani's always known it wasn't going to happen. That's been my point all week. If you watch my videos all week and listen to the show, that's what I've been talking about all week. Is that he's not going to? You can't arrest him. He's not arrestable when it comes to this kind of thing. That's ridiculous. And Mamdani has known that all along. Mamdani wanted to incite something about against Jews. That is what they do. That's what these guys do. How many times have they picked up a gun and tried to kill President Trump? How many times have they were successful with Charlie Kirk? And we know that it's the rhetoric from the left that does it because they leave behind the shell casings, guys. They inscribe it on the shell casings. The exact words that come out of the left-wing thought leaders' mouths. It's on the shell casings. It's on the signs. The guy tried to light ice on fire in New York this week, and he had all the signs, and the signs are exactly what comes out of the left-wing thought leaders and politicians' mouths. These aren't smart people who think for themselves. They just hear this stuff, and they've been hearing it all their lives through media and movies and, of course, music and school. They've been programmed for this. And along come the commies at the right moment, and they're just setting them off. And that's why, one of the reasons, they're standing in the way of voter ID. And the biggest criminals in Washington, D.C. right now are the Rhino Republicans who won't let the Save America Act pass. We have a major problem in this country of illegal aliens and non-citizens being on our voter rolls. I've got story after story after story here in front of me of it happening all over this country, not just in New Jersey like what was revealed this week. We've got other places as well where they're on the voter rolls. That was the whole idea behind Motor Voter. If you're in the country and you're not a citizen, you can still get a driver's license because we got to have them driving and we got to make sure they're safe. And then it's an automatic sign up to vote when you sign up to get your driver's license. And now we got a problem because the states like Oregon, Washington, Idaho, California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, I could go on, Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Vermont, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois. I'll stop now, but you get these states will not hand over their voter rolls to the federal government so they can check to see if these are citizens that are registered to vote in those states. D.C., Delaware, Virginia. I could go on and on. Let Harmeet Dillon tell you about it.
Do you plan to take this fight to the Supreme Court?
Well, we do. It's actually closer to 30 states. 20 states have given us their voter rolls voluntarily, and we've found hundreds of thousands of people on those voter rolls who shouldn't have been there. Now, since the governor made this announcement, we've opened up an investigation. We asked her to disclose to us the names of the 6,600 individuals who were wrongfully put on the voter rolls, and then the 400 who voted knowing that they weren't entitled to. And today she hasn't responded to us yet, but she did tell the New York Times and others in New Jersey that she wasn't going to give us that information because, quote unquote, we would weaponize it and she doesn't trust us with the data. Well, who can't be trusted with data, Governor Cheryl? It seems like it's actually New Jersey, because these people said they weren't entitled to vote, and then you put them on the voter rolls in your state, blaming the vendor, calling it a glitch, et cetera. It is the job of the election officials, not some data vendor, to determine citizenship when they put people on the voter rolls. That's federal law. And it also sounds like, Liz, the state allowed these people to stay on the voter rolls for more than a year after they knew that they weren't legally entitled.
Okay, stop it right there. Thank you, Harmeet. Harmeet Dillon is a real gem for our country. I love her. She is just wonderful at what she does. She fights for the principles, the founding principles of this country, which is where I am. I'm not a Republican. I'm certainly not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm a patriot. I want this country to return to its founding principles. It's what I believe, how we should be living every day. As a patriot to the United States of America from 1776, I believe that this is what we should be doing. If you want to vote in this country, if you want to vote in our elections, you should be a legal citizen of this country. And I take it to the Elon Musk way as well. If you want to be here, you should believe in our Western values, support our Western values, believe who we are, and become one of us. Otherwise, you are importing people that hate this country, that hate you, and you will end up with a civil war. That's a fact. And he's very clear on that, and he's very smart about that, and did a really good job talking about that with The Economist. I'll take a quick break, more in a minute. Trey Ware, KTSA. 9:35. Get your dancing shoes, your boogie shoes on. This is Casey and the Sunshine Band from Florida to shake your booty now, hon. They're a little tight, but they loosen up when I get the groove going. You know what I'm talking about? I do. And I want to boogie with you. And nobody else. You know it. They feel so good. 9:36, Trey, Ware, KTSA. Sean will be back on Monday. I'll visit with Jack in a few minutes. One of my heroes of all time, Clarence Thomas, the Clarence Thomas. One of the things I say in response to the media, I will absolutely leave the court when I do my job as poorly as you do yours. Love you, Clarence Thomas. You keep it coming. Somebody in the media that I have zero respect for.
The thing that I really can't stand about him right now.
How is her name Joy? Did she ever show any joy? Does looking at her bring you joy? Does listening to her bring you joy?
The thing I can't stand about him right now.
Yeah, here we go.
Is that he starts a war in Iran because they're going to get a nuclear weapon. Now he's making a deal with the Saudi Arabians that will allow them to produce a nuclear weapon.
Joy, you're drinking again, hon. Y'all sit there in your green room at ABC Disney, and you've been drinking again, and it's clear because no, that is not what this does.
Now, where is the head of the Republican Party in this? Because they have the power to get rid of him.
And they will say that it's
they have the power to get rid of Trump. The Republican Party can get rid of Trump. Yeah, okay. All right. Man, you so smart.
They're not allowed to make a nuclear weapon, but they're allowed to enrich.
Oh, I see. Then we'll go to war with the 9/11 group. The Saudis were behind 9/11. And are they waiting for him to drop a nuke on Cleveland? What are they waiting for? To do something. Now I'm scared. See, I grew up hiding under the desk. I was one of those kids. And
So was I, Joy. Right over at East Chapel Hills Elementary, about 2 minutes from where I'm standing, we had to get under our desk.
Well, probably two, Whoopi, where they said a nuclear
Whoopi's looking at her like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about, woman.
bomb's about to hit. Get under your desk, like that would do anything. And I've been scared of that. I never took my library books back because I said, we're all going to die anyway. That is a fact. And now we have a guy who is enabling that rogue nation. Because, by the way, they're going to give tens of billions of dollars. That's what's behind this. Follow the money with this guy.
Always follow the money. You know,
I want him out of there.
I want him out of there. You got to follow the money. The Saudis are giving Trump tens of billions of dollars into his personal account. That's why he's giving them the nuke bomb. Hon, let's be clear. For the first time in your life. Over here, Joy. Look at me. For the first time in your life, be clear about something. First of all, the Saudis already have a nuke. I'm just telling you, they already got it. Whether they won't admit it, just like Israel has it, and Israel won't admit it, but they got one. But number two, this has nothing to do with nuclear weaponry. This has to do with nuclear power. Do you even understand the difference between the two? No, you don't, because you're too dumb to figure it out. This has nothing to do with a nuclear bomb. This is nuclear power. And he's made it to where they have to, in order to get this nuclear power, he's made it to where they have to sign up in the Abraham Accords and normalize relations with Israel. So, Joy, you being a Jew, you ought to be pretty happy with that. Now, to the next guy. I love what Brandon Gill does. Jack and I had this conversation just a couple of days ago where we both agreed, put this guy on pay-per-view because I'll watch him all day long at these hearings. I really will, man. I'll mainline this stuff all day because he's so good. 32 years old. He put out a video. I follow him on X, so you can go to my X account. I share everything from him. And he talks about how growing up on a ranch in his truck as a kid with Rush Limbaugh on the radio. He said, that's how I formed my political opinions and where I come from politically. It's perfect. Absolutely great. Great family kid, just a great guy. And he is a kid. He's 32, so pretty young. And he's brilliant. So when he has these people, when they have these hearings and these people in front of him, he just calmly asks them questions, and the next thing you know, they're so tied up in knots, they are super constipated, and they don't know how to get rid of their constipation. So he did this to Hartig, who is the head of the Smithsonian this week, when he was calling out all the DEI crap all the bondage and sexual stuff and all the DEI stuff they're doing, all the lies that they're telling about America at the Smithsonian. But then the head of the Bar Association comes before him yesterday. I just want you to listen to this just for fun. This is just a fun piece.
According to the ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion improves the
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of
is
its
that a
realms
yes?
is
Can
important.
I take that? It's a yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website
This
says?
is a pretty simple question to answer. Your website says, and you're the head of that company or that association, your website says all people have biases.
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question, ma'am. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the ABA is doing.
That is the ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
Everybody's got implicit biases. Your website says that. Which implicit biases do you have?
The ABA believes that it's important to always explore.
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good.
No.
I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to consider.
It is. What about your point of view?
Yeah.
I am here as the president of the American Bar Association.
And I'm asking you what your implicit biases are.
Oh, my.
The ABA is an entity.
Have you reflected on your implicit biases?
Oh.
I think about how I
What are they?
the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
Oh.
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA and the ABA.
He just outlawyered her. He done dropped an F. Lee Bailey on her. She had no idea. She's supposed to be the head of the Lawyers Association of America, ABA, right? The American Bar Association. He just merely, and he had it in his hands. Your website says all people, every person has implicit biases. So, do you believe that? I don't know. Wait a minute. The website says it. Must mean that you believe it. And then he says, you really sound pretty dumb here because you're not going to answer my questions. Yes or no? Do you believe that every person has implicit biases? And she's like, I'm here to represent the ABA. Okay, well then if you're representing the ABA, and this is what the website says, what are your implicit biases? She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to answer. She didn't know what to say. She's confused. She's lost. That's a typical DEI Democrat for you. Meanwhile, right up the road, the president was hosting the L.A. Dodgers, the world champion L.A. Dodgers, and they handed him a World Series ring that is as big as the hubcap on your car. Listen to this.
Oh, you have to be kidding, huh? Wow. Do I have to report this? I don't want to report this. That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
It's got your name on it, so
That's
it's
so
only
good.
worth it to
That's
you.
right. That's really good.
So he's holding it up for everybody to see. And he doesn't put it on his finger. So what am I going to do with it? He opens his jacket.
You know what? I'll put it right here.
Put it in his jacket pocket. Listen, if you want to see all this stuff, including the Brandon Gill, including the Elon Musk 83 Minutes with The Economist, including Marco Rubio's comments I played for you all morning, and that right there, that and by the way, when the president had the Dodgers there, they both had a great time with each other. It was really cool to finally see a professional sports team go and not be all pissed off at the president. It was great. They enjoyed their time together. So anyway, you can check all that out at Trey Ware Show on X, at Trey Ware Show on X. Back with Jack in a minute. Trey Ware, KTSA. Mostly sunny this weekend, mid to upper 90s for your high. Right now it's 81, KTSA.
50 KTSA.
That's right.
And FM 107.1.
Come on, baby. Here we go. Huh. Funky Friday. We bring it on Fridays with maximum funkation. 9:51, Trey, Ware, KTSA. Jack Riccardi joins me. We could talk about what's coming on in a few minutes with Jack at 60. But, Jack, you know what? I want to start a little light, and maybe we'll end up with the end of the world before we're done here. There's a death, destruction, and the apocalypse by the time we're done. But you and I just thinking about this a second ago because she popped up on my X account. I got her all over my feed. You and I have yet to have a conversation about Sophie Cunningham. Wow, how did we miss that, Jack? Why haven't we talked about her?
I'm not connected half the time, so think of all the things we could have talked about, Trey, if the equipment worked. Think of the shows that would have happened.
Do you want to pick up with your
the best years of my life have been spent in total silence, wondering, can anyone hear me?
Well, the sign behind me that says "Stay Connected," I just covered up and taped over the "Stay" part.
That really should be the slogan inside the company, not to the listeners. But anyway.
That's right.
Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, no, I talked about her a little bit.
I'm sure you
yesterday.
Have. You and I haven't talked about her, though, so I'm just curious what you think about her.
Well, first of all, I think she's braver and more articulate than the people that are paid to comment on sports.
Amen.
I also think it's incredible that she is an accomplished basketball player, yet gets nothing but questions.
Yes.
Attempting to trap her on the trans issue.
Yes.
And then she really just says, what people describe as far right, as Elon Musk said, is really just normal stuff. She's just talking like a normal person. I love all people, but I'm not going to engage in their self-delusion.
Isn't that great? I love her. I just think the whole pointing thing was on point. Yes, the pun was intended.
Did you see the story about the pointing, though, and how the WNBA has rules against that can't be monetized because it represents confrontation?
I'm telling you, these people are stupid at the WNBA because
they're really like medically resistant to making money, aren't
stupid. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to them. Sophie
Cunningham. And Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
who they allow to be basically mugged on the train every night.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of so I guess they just want to fail.
Oh, absolutely. They cannot stand, and this is the truth of what a lot of people are saying about this, is that a black lesbian league cannot stand to have a white winner from a straight woman, and that's where these people are right now. But this is a total. Sophie Cunningham has changed the WNBA along with Caitlin Clark. I could care less about WNBA, but this is putting eyeballs on them in a way nobody has ever looked at this league before. Enjoy it, you guys. Write it. Write the checks.
Absolutely
Enjoy it.
Agree.
Yeah. All right, you mentioned the man a minute ago.
I'm in favor of immigration. Obviously, I'd be hypocritical if I wasn't, since I'm an immigrant to the United States. I'm in favor of immigration if the person immigrating is going to be a productive member of society.
Yes.
If they're going to be honest.
Yes.
And if they're not going to mistreat people in that country they're going to.
She's just staring at him.
I've missed him.
Oh, my God. He's so good, man. This whole interview.
He's not only good, but he has the presence and the delivery of like a Bond villain.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also fun to watch. Like he'll do these long pauses, and you don't know if he's done talking or saw a UFO or what, but he just... Have you ever noticed that?
Oh,
he just sort of checks out and looks off to the upper left and then comes back and makes a brilliant point. Like, I think he might actually be thinking while he's talking.
Right.
Which most people in public life are just rat-a-tat-tat machine gunning out talking points,
Well, and that's the way you do your show, too. Very thoughtful, just thinking.
There's long silences, yes.
Yeah, I mean, no.
And sometimes they're really long. They last the rest of the show.
That's when we have to reconnect you. So anyway, no.
It's like, has he died or just gone off the air? We don't.
We think about that sometimes. We go knock on the door, make sure you're still in there. So, no, one of the things he said in this interview, and I played parts of it all morning long because I'm just a big fan. About the whole normal people. I love that word, normal people. And that's one that has been used a lot lately, and I just love that idea, the concept of a normal person and how it's normal to like, strong borders, safe streets, and smart spending. That's just normal. And when he asked her, tell me which of those things is radical, her answer was, That was her answer.
Yeah. Who is she, by the way? I need to look her up. What's her name?
I'll have to hold on just a minute.
She's
I have to get to it down here.
She's basically a wet Kleenex intellectually. She
Terrible.
Is not prepared, can't back anything she's saying. She's also, by the way, advocating. I don't know. It's almost like she's an activist, not a reporter, because she's really advocating for a different position rather than seeking out why he took the position he took, which is what you're supposed to do in an interview. I'm supposed to find out what you think, not tell you what I think and why it's better.
Right. Or what
and
you
who
should
really
be thinking.
somebody's made $1 billion or $1 trillion. Who cares what she thinks? I want to know how he got there and where he's got. Like, there's not even a comparison. That's not even a meeting of the minds.
Yeah. I think her name is Bedo or something like that. I remember seeing Beddoe or something along those lines. I'll have to look it up again. I don't have it right here at my hands, but something like that.
Did you talk about Brooke Baldwin this morning?
Oh, God. Should I?
I got to talk about that today.
Are you really?
Talk about that today.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
I listen, all those times that I watched her, I had no idea she was a sex fiend. I had no idea that was her thing.
Oh, she was Miss Serious News.
Yeah.
She was, I'm a journalist. I want to be taken serious. Remember she got Clay Travis thrown off the air?
Oh, yeah.
Because he used the word boob?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was it was like all of a sudden she was wearing like a lace collar and, a corset.
Right.
Oh, what are you using that word? And now have you seen her?
Oh.
Have you seen her Substack?
I saw them both. I sure did. Yes, as a matter of fact. Right.
That wasn't the stack I meant, but yeah, her stacks are on her Substack.
Okay,
yeah.
that's exactly
wow,
right.
What happened?
I don't know.
Brooke really gave up.
It's pretty incredible. There was another. I don't know what's going on at CNN, but I knew Lynn Russell extremely well. She was here at Ken's. I worked for her husband when I was at Kono, and she went to CNN forever.
I remember that.
And then all of a sudden, when she left CNN, she's doing all these lingerie photos, and I was like, Lynn, I never knew. That's not the Lynn I knew. Where did that come from?
I don't know, though. I don't want to split hairs, but like a lingerie photo could be tasteful.
Oh, yeah.
But Brooke Baldwin talking about how she's in heat, and she did it with the head of some foreign government. Just what a weirdo.
Those heads of foreign government were flying here to do it with her.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my God. Okay, all right. Well, it's going to be a spicy
Who
show.
said foreign aid has been cut off?
I can hear all the pun jokes you're going to do for the next hour, aren't you? The stack,
jokes, yeah.
cut off, all of those things.
I didn't think of the Substack one. You caught me on that one.
Well,
That's
there
good.
you go. You can use it next hour.
Thank you.
Please do.
I will.
Jack Riccardi, have a great weekend. Everybody, you have a great weekend, too. I will be back here with Sean Monday at 6 a.m. or sooner if necessary. Hey, listen, my son was an outstanding guitar player. I miss him and my daughter every single day. But every day I end the show